kept losing signal. Getting no speed, so that must have been like, unbelievably congested. What's up, Blades? How you doing? What's going on with you? Had to get up super early today. Oh man, fucked up my sleep schedule and I've been taking naps all day. Got to get up at 7:30 in the morning, go meet up with somebody at 8 o'clock, and I didn't get back till 9. Then I didn't fall asleep back till 10. Then I had to wake up at 12:30. I was out till like 4 or 5. That's good. Yeah, laughter's nothing wrong with laughing. Laughing's always good medicine. Helps you feel better. Releases those feel-good chemicals. Yeah, I went out today for a Korean barbecue with some friends. And I had to help my roommate sell his car, so that's done. And I've been having internet problems since like 9 in the morning. Like the internet's been so damn slow. It didn't really resolve itself till like almost 6 o'clock at night. So I don't know what was going on. There's definitely something going on in the area. Yeah, tomorrow I got some stuff to do. I gotta do some more paperwork, and I gotta probably work on a computer tomorrow, getting it transferred over to a new case. Start working on that. And Saturday I gotta take my roommate to drop him off at his cousin's, and then I gotta go over to the mall and drop off some more stuff to sell. Then Sunday I gotta go meet up with my mom to go to a party. And then Monday I have to get up early to go take my dad to a doctor's appointment. And then I think that day also I should be able to confirm if my unemployment starts. And then later in the week I gotta do some more paperwork and oh man, got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff coming up. Okay, so hopefully by the middle of the month I should be caught up on everything. I just hate when you just got so much shit you gotta do. Trying to maintain all that stuff in my head. I gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just I want to get out of the way. You know what I mean? I just got things I got to take care of, and I want to get done with them, so they're done. So I'm done. I'm caught up. I don't got to worry about shit, and then I can focus on other stuff I want to focus on. Just a lot of stuff I've been doing for other people. Like it's more for other people, not really for me. So I'm trying to help out friends and family, and I'm just like. And then I still got stuff I gotta do. I'm still trying to get all this stuff sold on eBay and these computers built and sold. I just want to get rid of all this shit. I would love to have everything sold in my room by the end of next month. I don't think it's going to happen, but it might. And then, I got to focus on looking for work. I got to do that every week. So I make sure to, go to apply at jobs. Hopefully I get a call back within 6 months. But you never know, that might not happen. I might not be able to find a job. Yeah, not much else, dude. Just, like I said, I got all that stuff I gotta take care of. Outside of that, that's about it. Like I said, my plan is hopefully by September I find another job, full-time job, get back to work, and get back on rotation. I don't know what my schedule's going to be like, so obviously that may change how I stream. Obviously, if I work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, I'm not going to stream during the week anymore. That's obviously going to be that's a guarantee. I will not do that. And then it'll only be on the weekends. I'll stream only on the weekends. I already know that's going to happen when I start working full time. There will be no more weekday streams. That's what I normally did before. But also, too, is, with my internet, the way it is, I have to stream at night because my internet gets really shitty during the day. So, unless I get fiber optic, which is supposedly coming in my area within the year or two. That's supposedly, there's infrastructure upgrade going on. I hope I get fiber optic in my area. We're long overdue for it. We need fiber optic. It's been I'm so tired of waiting. They said, we'll get fiber optic years ago, and we still haven't got it. And I'm just oh my god, when is it fucking coming, dude? Is it ever coming, or is it just a bunch of bullshit? You're just never gonna bring it out here. It's supposed to, AT&T's supposed to put it in here, but they haven't done it yet. And I think they're not doing it because it costs, the costs. They're trying to be cheap. They want to do it cheap, and the management doesn't want to spend the money. So they're just they're basically just holding out until things get cheaper, until they have to do it. Once they get in here, it's it'll probably take a few months to get it done, and then boom, we have fiber internet. We're gonna have blazing fast internet, and probably more reliable service. None of this. None of this deprioritization, the internet drops, interference shit. It's going to be just mostly consistent. It's going to be blazing fast. But yeah, that's another reason why I stream at night, is because the internet is doable at night. Yeah, I want fiber, dude. I do. It's just the whole thing about we don't have wired infrastructure where I live. Unfortunately, we only have dial-up where we live, and DSL, which is garbage. DSL is ancient, slow. It's not viable. So obviously, yeah, you probably won't. The likelihood of you getting fiber optic is going to be very low, unless because of circumstance. Obviously, rich people can afford it. They'll pay for it because they want the best. For us, it's just a matter of, well, if the infrastructure allows for it, then we'll get it. And then obviously I'll switch over, even if it's like 60, 70, $80 a month, it's worth it. Because, the speed and no data caps. I mean, the T-Mobile home internet works, when it works good. It's just when it doesn't work, it's bad. Like, it gets very slow. Like, sometimes where it's just unusable. Like, it's like, it's like a snail speed. And I'm just like 2G speed. It's like, oh God, like, why is it so fucking slow? And I just think that's unacceptable. For a high-speed solution, you shouldn't be deprioritized to that slow a speed. I think it's unacceptable. For the speeds to be that slow. It's like, what the fuck? Why is it so? I understand it, like, during peak hours, when everybody's on the internet, there's going to be congestion. That's normal. That's to be expected. The bandwidth gets used up and everybody's on the network. It's like, okay, it's going to slow down. I understand that. As long it slows to a reasonable speed. Like, you may get like a tenth of the speed, which is, I'm like, okay, that's fine. A tenth's okay. Like my internet goes as fast as like 700 megs a second, which is pretty fast. My upload is like up to like 30, which is, great. So I get good speeds when it works optimally, but when it's slow, man, there's times it drops to under 5. And I'm just like, man, how do you go from 700 to 5? I said, that sounds awful. It goes that low. It should not go that low. I think it's like, yeah, I can understand it going from 700 to like, 40, 50. That's a reasonable drop, to share the bandwidth with everybody else so everybody gets, able to use the internet to a degree, Like, you got to be able to use it, reasonably, comfortably well. And I'm not expecting it to be super fast, but, I expect it at least, going to drop to like 25% of the speed. It's like, oh, if it drops from 700 to like 100, 150, that's perfectly fine. But when it's dropping to like, 5 megs a second download and 1 meg upload, that's fucking slow, man. Like, I can't even game on that because it's so slow. I can, like, do basic web surfing, like, load pages and do internet online, that's fine. But for, like, basic stuff, like, it's okay. But for major stuff, it's impossible. I can't use the internet at all. It's unusable. I can't stream, I can't play games, I can't, so I'm fucked, I have to wait. That's why I have to wait till nighttime. Like, the way the internet was today, I wouldn't have streamed until, like, probably after 8 o'clock at soonest. Because it was, like, bad earlier today. Like, starting at 9 in the morning, it was so bad. I don't know why it was so, like, congested. And we couldn't get on the internet at all. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And this is rare that ever happens where I can't connect to the internet. So, and it didn't come back to almost 6 o'clock. And the internet was slow at 6. I was getting like 50 meg download, 40 meg, 20. it was slow, you know, but it was usable. Like I could use it. It's good enough for basic surfing, but to play games and stuff, I wouldn't have used it. It would have been awful. But yeah, the best time to use these kind of internet services is honestly late at night, after 10 o'clock. You get pristine connection. Like right now, it's running beautifully right now at this time. You know, like from like 10 o'clock all the way to like 5 in the morning, it runs beautifully. Like there's no, because everybody's asleep. So I get all the bandwidth to myself. So they don't deprioritize me. But when it's busy, you know, our internet, like the T-Mobile home users, get deprioritized the most out of all the people on the service, because we don't have data plans like phones. You know, you pay for premium data. Internet gives you that for free, and they're only going to give you so much of it. And then after that, you know, I get 1.2 terabytes of premium data. After that, I get it will go down. It will deprioritize. But even then, it still deprioritizes even if I'm within my data limit, I will still get deprioritized because of what do you call it? Because of congestion. So it doesn't matter, even if I win within my data limits, I will still get deprioritized and I still lose speed because we're at the bottom of the totem pole. So all the people that pay for premium service, they you know, like business accounts, you know, people that actually pay for the premium data, like the really heavy users, or spend like $100 a month on their phone bill, they will get the best speeds. Like even when it's slow, they will accommodate them the most. You know, they'll still get like slower speeds, but it won't be as bad as me. You know, that's the problem I have with this kind of internet. It's like, you know, it's because you're fighting with a pool of data with other people. So whoever, you know, certain people are going to get more of the data than you are, depending on the usage. Like I said, at nighttime, I'm not fighting with anybody. So I will get, I would say 95% of the time, I get blazing fast speeds. You know, it feels great. Like if it was like this all the time, oh, I would love this. I would stay with it forever. But it's not. It's inconsistent. You know, like earlier today, it was unusable for hours, and people were just like, and I'm like, dude, I can't do anything about this. You know, and if there's interference in the area, like something's blocking the signal, or the node is down, like basically the node has got too much traffic, and it kicks you off the node, and it's like, well, you're going to go on this node, which is slower, and unfortunately, we don't know when that node's going to open back up. You know, for you to use it, because there's just too many people on it. So, which sucks, because I know I'm getting the short end of the stick. But that's what you sign up for when you get this kind of internet. But it's like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have an alternative. Like, there's no other solution in my area. So it's either this, dial up, shitty ass DSL, or this other company that I had before that I got rid of that's even slower. They basically piggyback off of Spectrum, wireless internet, and it's slower and it's more expensive. So I'm just like, okay, why would I get it then? Why would I get something inferior that costs more? And I'd rather pay less and get faster speeds. And I'll be honest, I don't want to go back to the previous company I had before. I thought they had a lot of problems too. I think I'm just trading one problem for another, to be honest. It's like it isn't going to solve it. I'm going to have the same problem with the other company. The only difference is I get a more direct line of sight signal, but even then, I'm still piggybacking off an existing network. So if the network gets congested, I'm still back to square one. That problem still happens. So it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's a situation where it's like, there's not much I can do. Kind of fucked either way. But yeah, I can't wait to... Yeah, it's that's what I'm waiting with right now. Like, I want fiber so bad. I'm ready for it. It's just I'm patiently waiting. I'm really waiting for it. I really want to use it. It just to have just good internet. Everybody's enjoying it. Everybody has no issues. The service is really fast. It's responsive. Everybody gets good bandwidth. There's no data caps. It's just you just have once in a while you have problems. I mean, that's any internet service provider, you're gonna have issues. It doesn't matter what service provider you use, you're going to experience issues every so often. Network's gonna get have problems. You could have something can go down. That happens. Like there's maintenance. It's like, hey, I expect that. But when I want, but the service is a lot more consistent. Where you're just like, hey, 90% of the time, it's going to run beautifully. You're going to have no issues. Which is what you should. And it shouldn't matter what time of day I'm using the internet. It should run beautifully. Any time of the day. Not, you have to wait till nighttime to get good speeds. And that's the problem I run into and I get frustrated with. I tolerate it because I have to. I have no choice, especially if I have to. I was working my job, working from home, and they told me, hey, we're working, you have a remote job, and they said you can use wireless internet. It's as long as the speeds are good enough. And I told them the speeds. It's like, oh yeah, you can use it, no problem. But I need something that's reliable, because if it's constantly going down, it affects my job, and they're going to be like, hey, you got to log out. You can't work today because you have no internet. That's a frustrating problem to deal with when you're working. You need reliable internet. And tell them, hey, it's affecting my livelihood. Like I need this. You're lucky I'm not working right now, so I don't need it. This is all recreational at this point. So I can get away with it now. But if I get another job where I'm working from home, I hope it's not during the day, because that's gonna be a major problem. If I have to work from home, I might have to work in the office. I might have to drive to the office every day. Because it's like, I need reliable internet. If it's at nighttime, late at night, then yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. But if it's during the day, like, yeah, I'm screwed. Yeah, it sucks. Like, there's no way I can enhance my signal, because I'm already using a supplementary antenna that boosts my performance on my internet by a good amount. Which I need. I had to spend $350 extra for that equipment, which it was a godsend. I would be like, I'd recommend it for days. It is worth the money. There's another piece of equipment I would like to buy. It's like $600. That basically it's a proprietary gateway, like a modem, modem slash router, where you can configure it to any network. It's like, it has tons of configuration options, which is great. It's like what the professionals use. And you could take out the SIM card out of the gateway and put it into there, and you can configure everything. Like, it has tons of customization. I'm like, it's well made, but it's expensive. You know, like, you're talking like a full setup, you're talking about $1,000. But obviously, if you need internet in your area, that's worth it. I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's worth it. You know, most people couldn't afford that, though. You know, I could afford it. I would, if it's infrastructure upgrade, it's worth it. You know, I'll do it. You know, luckily, I got the stuff, and I basically paid myself back in a sense through charging like a fee. Like, basically, hey, there's an upgrade fee. You know, here's going to cost this much for a year, and I got all that money back. So basically, you know, it's good. It's good now. So the equipment's mine now. But if I'm going to go buy that other modem, that's going to be another $600, and then I have to learn how to configure it. I'm sure it would help, but the problem is, even then, the whole deprioritization thing is on the T-Mobile network side, not on my side, so I can't control that. That's something they control. So if they see you're going over your data, they're like, well, when it gets slow, you're going to really feel it, because, you know, we're going to deprioritize you because you're not the primary, you know, you're not high on the priority list. So, and I get that. So you learn a lot from doing this shit. I've learned quite a bit. But yeah, I just hope I get fiber optic like you. I hope I do. I want it. I would love to have a taste of it. I'm sure it's a wonderful experience. I mean, I miss wired internet. I wish I could go back to it. I don't like wireless. Like, it works, but it'll never be as good as wired. I think the biggest problem, though, is it's the bandwidth. You know, like, I know 6G's is in development right now, which is going to be insanely fast. What's up, Ridika? How you doing? But yeah, 6G, I don't know if you've looked into it, Blades, but 6G internet is going to be insanely fast. I think we're talking like, 10 gigs a second or some shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, in the bandwidth, the throughput, the bandwidth is huge. Like, if everybody was on that shit, I don't think you'd run into bandwidth issues. Like, it's going to be really powerful stuff. And 5G will become the new 4G. You know, I could definitely see that within the next 10 years. 6G is going to be the next thing. It's going to be stupid fast internet, man. We're talking, like, download a game in mere seconds. Here's a 100 gig game downloaded in fucking 10-20 seconds. I'll be like, wow. I said, that's fast. That is so fucking fast. Yeah, the good thing about it is bandwidth. You wouldn't have to worry about bandwidth. Yeah, 6G is barely in development right now. It's not going to be something that we're going to see anytime soon. So don't like. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's exciting. I mean, I'm excited for it, but it's just you're going to be waiting. But I do think it is something that's going to be incredible when it comes out. I mean, it won't. I'm curious. The thing that I hope it resolves is the whole thing about, you know, interference and shit like that. Because that's the biggest problem with wireless internet is interference and inconsistency. That's the biggest problems with that kind of network. You know, if you can solve those issues with wireless, oh man, dude, I think that would be the near end of wired. Because wireless is so much cheaper to install. Because you don't need physical lines. You just need towers. So that would be incredible if we ever got to that point where it's like, oh man, wireless is on the same level as fiber optic wired. It's like, oh shit, that's if we can get it to that level of consistency, that would be amazing. But like I said, look forward to it, man. Just keep an eye on it. I definitely think it's worth keeping notice of it. Don't just dismiss it. But it is something that's on the horizon. But yeah, as far as like what we have now, yeah, wired internet is still the way to go. Wired internet will always be the best option. Get fiber optic wired's the way to go if you get it. But the problem is, again, a lot of areas don't have it, so you're kind of asked. Most people, like my mom's area, doesn't have it, and a lot of I think only one of my friends has access to it. So he's lucky he gets it. But yeah, most people I know, it's like they don't get that. Like the best they get is fucking Spectrum. That's all they get. They're on which is cable. It works. I mean, it suffices. But it is obviously dated infrastructure. It doesn't have the bandwidth that fiber optic has. And then another thing I like about fiber optic is it's a what do you call it? What's that term they use? The upload and download are it's not parallel. Not simultaneous. What is it called? There's a term they use for it. Where basically the download and the upload are the same speed. So if you get 500 megabyte download, you also get 500 megabyte upload, which is not like you need that, but it's still pretty awesome. So that's like slow speed. 500 meg up and down is like slow fiber optic, which is like, for me, that's perfect. 500 megabytes a second is perfect for me. I don't even need more. If I could get that, I'd be fine with just the bare minimum. Like that to me is overkill for what our home network uses. Like that's just absolutely perfect. I know that goes up to like 5 gigs a second, which is like, yeah, it's like I don't need that fast. 5 gig a second it's just too much. I would never spend the premium for like 5 gig a second. We're talking like, 500 down is fine, dude. Oh yeah. What's your upload? 500 down is fine, dude. That's perfectly acceptable. I think people see like, oh, they think gig is like this. You have to have gig to make it be good internet. Like, no, 500 gig is more than enough. 500 meg. I'm sorry, 500 meg download is more than enough. You ain't gonna notice it at all when you play games. The only thing you'll notice is you'll download shit quicker. Yeah, that's fine. That's 50, 120 is totally fine. More than usable. There's no issues with that. So yeah, you're fine, dude. I don't know what I missed. Oh, I missed one. I didn't realize it. But yeah. Just saying. Yeah, just like I said, who's your provider? Who do you have? Well, you have Spectrum. Yeah, mine goes as low as 20 on the ping, which is really good for wireless. Okay, this is new. They bind you. That's pretty cool. You gotta be fast taking these out. They kill you so fast. You have Netlink, Nextly. What do you pay a month now? What do you pay a month now for your internet? $70. Yeah. 100. I mean, if you think $30 a month is worth it, if you think 50's too, 500's too slow, I don't think it is. If it was me, I wouldn't pay. I wouldn't pay. If I had fiber at 250, 500, or 70, I wouldn't pay an extra 30 just to go up to 2 gigs. That's just me, though. I don't think I'd see much of a difference. This is me, though. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just telling you what I think. Yeah, I mean, I think you're fine with what you have. It's not like your internet's bad. I mean, unless your internet's really inconsistent. It's like it's mine. Trust me, I think if you had mine, you'd be complaining. Well, yeah, I mean, so what do you have, cable? Or do you have, like, wireless? Do you have cable internet? Oh, you're like me, you have wireless. Oh, okay. You have wireless, okay, well. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got, dude. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's not much you can do. If that's all you have in your area, I mean, that's what you gotta use. You know, it's like me, you know, I have no other options. I do not have a wired option. The wired options we have are too slow. You know, it's outdated infrastructure. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, AT&T eventually gets rid of it. Because it's not worth it. Yeah, I mean, see, like me, I can play fighting games at night, only at night. Like right now, fighting games would run beautifully. Like I would get like my average print ping. I mean, I won't get that low in a fighting game. Mine goes about 60. It's. I mean, a rollback netcode, it's fine. If you're under 100 with rollback netcode, it's fine. You know, it'll still feel good. You know, so I'm okay. You know, but if it's on delay based netcode, it's kind of hit or miss. Yeah, for me, it's about on when I'm at optimal connection, like I'm really low ping, 40 to 60 maybe if I'm lucky. On like if it's average, maybe like 80, 100. If it's above 100, I start to feel it like pretty bad. But again, it's rollback. You know, you need rollback netcode feels a lot better than delay based. Yeah, lowest ping I've ever got on my connection is I, I can show you mine if you want to see mine. Here, I'll show you mine speed. You gotta be careful because kills the bandwidth. Do that. Yeah, because I'm running a speed test, so it's killing all the bandwidth. That's why. Don't run a speed test when you're streaming. It's usually not a good idea because it'll kill all the bandwidth. Yeah, that's my speed. So, not the fastest. I guess the fastest speed I've ever seen this push out is like up to 800. You know, but that's like optimal conditions, like perfect. Like I said, maybe 30 upload, maybe 50 upload. I think is the highest I've ever done. Wi-Fi, man. No, it's fine. I'm just telling you this is normal. Like for me. This is about normal. But yeah, 27 ping. It's cool. I got it. But yeah, my internet, like I said, it suffices. I just wanted to show you. That's all. It's cool. I'm just showing you. It was just a test. My internet's running good right now. Well, for now. But yeah, lately it's been kind of iffy. Lately, like it's been kind of annoying. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this because this looks really hard. This looks hard on this difficulty.
of them now? Is there like 4 of them now?
You wanted to show me Street Fighter 6 yesterday. Bought Alpha Series. Sent me a video. I'd rather play Alpha. If I had to play a Street Fighter game, I would definitely play Alpha. That was probably my favorite Street Fighter series. Before I stopped playing Street Fighter. Yeah, like as far as but yeah, I can't go back to that game. Like, if you told me to play Alpha now, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be interested enough to care. It's too slow for me. Like, it's just not something I want to play. Like, I haven't forgotten how to play Alpha. I still know the moves and shit. It's not like I haven't forgot. It's just one of those, it's just lack of interest. That's my biggest problem, is just not being interested. See, a lot of people, they, since they have fond memories of Street Fighter, they have no problem playing Street Fighter any day of the week. For me, I just can't do it. Because it's just like, I just don't get any enjoyment out of playing it. Yeah, it just feels like such a regression. We should continue watching that Strive review thing. Remember that thing I was showing you? You should continue watching that. Just so you can see that Leon Massey video where he was like talking about how Street Fighter, how Guilty Gear Strive feels. Like why he doesn't like Street Fighter very much. How the movement and the speed of the flow of the game feels. It feels so slow. It feels slow and limited. That's we're waiting. As a watcher. See, where did we watch? Where did we go off from here? Try a video. Yeah, just so you can see. I think we stopped right around here.
It's on character basis. If you certain amount of damage to characters like Soul,
it's usable. And reasonable damage numbers from characters like Amelia start to pin them down as weak. If you're going to have a system where combos in the corner are going to be stronger, that's perfectly fine and standard. But doubling the damage just because they're not set to stage isn't justifiable if you're going to have that lead to the player breaking the wall, gaining positive bonus, leaving Lee with 10% life and making the dry wall look extremely submissive and punchable. High damage numbers are fine if they're earned, but even still, Sol doing DP with some meters doesn't mean he should get paid twice as much as his brother, just because his pecs are the size of a small house rather than the top of a skyscraper. I understand that they wanted to keep the damage numbers high because it instills a sense of tension throughout the match as he makes a comeback from even the largest deficits, not as unlikely as it seems. But right now, it doesn't create a sense of tension for a realistic chance that anyone can win. It doesn't by making some characters so explosive that it's like watching Russia and the USA throw nukes at each other during the Cold War. But they've both forgotten the alarm codes, and it's a race to see who can set their strongest smashes to decipher the alarm codes hidden in fighting game notation the fastest. If Arxis wanted to reduce the damage but still keep some of that tension, they may need to either increase the damage scaling during a combo or create a threshold on hits that once passed impact the combos very hard. You can also modify the way that risk works, but I don't think that solves the core of the issue. Risk is this small purple bar at the top of the screen. You might not notice it, especially considering it's so small, but right now it's also a culprit as to why these damage numbers are so damn high. The way that it currently works is that as it builds up, it will make whatever attack lands next not begin to look like scaling. For smaller 3-hit combos, this is not a problem in the slightest. For a wall combo, your half HP combo will skyrocket to a 75% combo because you're only going to start applying scaling after the full hit. I think.
Yeah, the scaling just gets so bad in this game because of how explosive the damage is. Like, man, you get counter hitted on the first hit into a combo, it's like you just blow up. It's so bad.
you'd be able to reduce the absurdly high explosive damage numbers by keeping the risk the way that it currently works, but by having the scaling kick in immediately based on the amount of hits that have already been applied. This way you'd still have the combos from risk still being impactful relative to non-risk combos, but you wouldn't create scenarios where people implode from the simplest openings. Regardless of where this damage comes from, either risk or particular characters, I'd be extremely surprised to see the damage staying.
I also don't like. I do not like defensive defensive bursts or Roman cancel. Feels so nasty, dude. I miss dead angle. I miss dead angle. Dead angle was cool.
I'm also trying to intentionally annoy the people that hate it.
Roman cancels is the only good thing in this game.
I think that the new Roman cancel system is fantastic.
I'll give that credit. It's got the most intriguing Roman cancel system. I like the blue and I like the directional Roman cancel. That shit's cool. That's probably the only good shit I like about this game. I don't like the... I do not like that. I don't like that defensive Roman cancel. It fucking feels like shit. I do think it feels like shit, dude.
Yellow is what comes out when you do blocks and stops your opponent from pressing and allows you to regain your advantage in exchange for 50% of your bomb. How much advantage? 10 frames. Personally, I don't think this is nearly enough advantage, considering it can also be blocked and requires you to use 50% of your meter, which is the same as your combo extender, setup maker, and your... this one's a bit hard to define, we'll get into it later. Realistically, if I'm going to spend...
I think the yellow cancel out of all of them is the worst one.
To take advantage of that 10 frames, I would want something that's a bit more substantial, perhaps a knockdown, like... them fighting tasks. As it stands, though, I don't really see much use in it.
Yeah, I miss dead angle.
Out there will figure out how to make it useful. Once you see just how little value you get from it, it almost always feels like you're doing the wrong choice. Thankfully, the other three aren't such disappointments to the family. Red, purple, and blue all serve different functions, but they all share that they have the circle that impacts your opponent and can all be drifted, where you can move in a set direction after it's been...
Yeah, the drift is cool. I like the drift.
You can all have its wind up time cancelled into a button with the correct time. If you can't see how this might be useful, just look at the difference between an air dash and a fast RC cancel in the same action. Hey, oh, that's the move that I wanted to earlier, but now it's past. What the fuck? Red applies if you just hit your opponent and on a normal connection.
I love shit like that.
It's just a simple way of making combos instead.
Do that in Zerd for 25 meter. It's great.
The launch property combined with the juggle system means that even without an idea of what you want to do with the RCC, you're still able to make that 50% feel worthwhile for a combo that ends up doing at least possible damage. Purple RC happens during the whiff or recovery of the move, and now the circle applies a slowing effect. For the most part, it's used alongside the drifts in order to make some pretty nasty mix-ups. The main thing to note here is that while I'm certainly not enough of a nerd to number crunch my way to a two-way mix-up, when PRC doesn't actually connect to get me an opening, it feels like a massive waste, even when I have found a setup that makes an applicable option. Spending 50% of your meter to end up back on someone's block feels like a very largely wasted opportunity, when the same meter could have been used to extend the combos, both in damage and in length, as well as being used for supers. This means that you're almost never going to use it at a longer distance, since even if you do successfully get that round that you're looking for, you spend what effectively amounts to somewhere between 50 and 8 damage to do so. Blue RC is a mechanic that I admittedly still haven't got my head around. The blue circle massively slows down your opponent so much that they might as well briefly turn elderly. The main purpose, from what my incompetence can gather, is that you can use it to punish whiffs that you normally wouldn't be able to, but personally I've not been able to find any applications for it. This mechanic might be one that people around my skill level, which is fairly middle of the road, don't employ, but gets utilised more by the higher level.
I like the blue cancel. I try to do combos with it because it seems like a neat way to slow down time and do hits you normally can't do.
I still haven't changed my mind in that idea. It's still the best mechanic strive to by a long shot. I think it's hard to compare it directly to the older Roman cancel system and call it better. When you combine the new Roman cancel system with drifting and fast RC, I see so much potential.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't really want to
Same.
put time into, but the many ways that you could utilize the system does make the one I have to give praise to. I might not want to put the time in to learn how to use fast RC drifts on block to open someone up, but No Life 69 can think about these different ideas both prior to a match and intuitively mid-match to really push more out of the system than a simple cancel system would be able to provide. I'm a large fan of when one option can cascade into many others, and while I think that that's something in general that fighting games lack, I'm glad to see roaming cancels pack so much potential possibilities into one system that you can really fine-tune it into how you want to play. So it's unfortunate that I think that the Meat has a core problem of everything costing the same, so it feels very flat and lifeless. You might think that this is an editing error, but it's not. I want to emphasize to you that this is probably one of my largest problems with fighting games in general. Hardly any of them do anything interesting with their meter. When games have super meters as complex as you can choose between level 1 and level 3 super, I want to roll my eyes so hard that they fall out of my skull and spin like a ping pong ball towards the nearest
So true.
These super meters don't really become an interesting choice. It becomes a case of this combo or pressure situation did or did not involve the super. You use this meter very passively in your thought process, which surprisingly any sense of satisfaction I get becomes a non-option. I want to make it clear that this is not Stride's meter. I think that it's more complicated than that by a significant margin, even without discussing how Faultless defense is tied to the
Yeah, a lot of games just use super meter just strictly for supers. Wish they would use it for more than that.
Do you want damage or do you want reversal? Do you want something that might be able to help you open up a particularly stubborn turtle so long as you have the right setup? Do you like wasting resources? This is a scenario where
Do you like wasting
the resources that you can handle, and instead of wanting to blast it out immediately, you might have to choose what's right for you. The thing is, because everything costs the same amount, you have no resource economy. Choices from one decision earlier might impact another, but only if you didn't succeed in the way that you had planned. With every option costing the same amount, you cannot cut yourself off from larger choices later because of smaller choices beforehand, or be forced to rely on less impactful resources in order to afford you the opportunity to gain more resources later. This makes this meter limited to right and wrong choices rather than a spectrum from good to bad. Faultless defense, which is the push block that uses meter to activate, does occasionally create this type of weighing up the options that I think is missing, but only when you're right about to bust and you're getting edged between the 50% blocks, since the option is only applicable to on-block situations and doesn't drain enough to be felt when you're, say, between 0 and 35%. This makes for a resource with choices, but the kind of choices that are comparable to the moral binary of Bioshock. Do you do the things clearly in the right, or are you the wrong blight on humanity that doesn't have the balls to kill children? Compare that to the resource systems that have more options tied to it with varying values, especially ones with meaningful low-cost options and impactful, powerful high-cost options. Like, for example, alright, I legitimately can't think of one outside of Guilty Gear. Ultra Thought does interesting things with its EX meter, but it squanders it with the Ultra meter and doesn't do anything with it defensively. If I remember correctly, BlazBlue also does some interesting things with its resources, but I'm not willing to learn another madly complicated fighting game just for this video. A game like Plus R has different options that vary from 25 to 50% of your meter. You've got really strong supers, dead angles, and the one that makes the announcer use vocabulary the player base isn't familiar with at 50.
Romantic. I always love that shit. Romantic.
But that same EX move might cover you now to never put you in a position where you actually have to save to not lock yourself in that position. But again, that 25% can also play into your advantage and get you to a point where you're now putting someone in a sensitive situation and giving you even more bar. At that point, Faultless defense also becomes more impactful since you're going to have to weigh up whether being hit you can't just block. It's really worth losing your FRC and progress towards a sort of that. This to me makes for me to I see this as one more opportunity to create variable set choices on a spectrum from good to bad, rather than one that is right and wrong. And while I think you might be able to argue the why potentially option, I legitimately don't think that any of these would be good for a rethink its value. The problem is that combined with the drift system, all of these would do too strong to bring down their value. PRC might be a debatable contender, but then you have to get rid of the time slot slowdown and drift. But then you might run into the problem of characters like Axel becoming a nightmare if you don't pin them down round start, which is kind of already an issue. I'm sure that many people don't see this as a problem, but as someone who would rather see their meter as a currency rather than a timer that counts down to when I'm allowed to have fun, this bar leaves quite a lot to be desired for me. All
Yeah, you just don't get enough. You just don't get to do enough with the mechanics. It's like Roman Castle's a great mechanics system. It really is. You have a lot of options, but those options just don't come enough in this game. It takes forever, and you get maybe a couple uses out of a round.
In extreme poverty.
Defense is fucking trash in this game.
Maybe because I've developed the fear of using training mode to learn new things, maybe because I'm easy to read. And so it's obvious to me that I probably don't have the best understanding of the defensive game. So take this portion with a grain of salt the size of my ego when I say that while jump back is certainly strong, faultless defense, just blocking, and YRC are not strong enough at the moment. And make the defensive situations where I'm always going to be looking for my opportunity to jump back to escape whatever they throw at me, rather than using faultless to create space, just blocks the sneaky openings or YRCs to regain control of the situation. I think the faultless defense is actually pretty good in isolation. The problem comes in that there's just so many advancing specials or moves like soft fast that you're often not going to move your opponent any kind of significant distance to open up new opportunities for yourself.
I hate that with Soul, man. Just spamming fucking slash, man. So much block stun, dude. Where you're kind of like, God damn, dude, stop fucking doing that.
Mechanic that slowly provides advantage through distance rather than filing a restraining order against your opponent. But because the block strings aren't very long, it doesn't feel like they're making any difference to the situation, whether or not faultless, as there aren't enough hits to even force a whiff if you faultless every single hit. This was probably a concession that was made for instant faultless defense, which is a just block whilst you're also on faultless defense. A just block by itself makes it so your character receives zero pushback on block, leaving your opponent close to you and giving you teammates. It requires an extremely precise timing.
That's another thing. The execution on Just is too strict.
The third strike parry on the ground requires you to hold forward with a 6-frame logo if I've done my research correctly. There seems to be a misconception that just blocks give you additional frame advantage as well. From everything I've been able to find, this isn't actually true.
It is an exert, not in this game.
This is just me lacking to find a use for it more than anything.
Yeah, just defense.
I don't really care. That's not really important to the point that I'm about to make. What I would like to use is instant faultless defense, which, like massive pushback to your opponent, also applies the additional frames of block stun. There's a catch though. You can't just do the already difficult just blocking but with faultless up. You have to do a just block and then return to neutral. This has some pretty huge problems. Mainly being
But the defensive mechanics are just like,
would be the most ideal.
God, like why is this so hard to do?
Massive likelihood of missing the absurdly precise input and get
I don't know why it's so overly precise. It has never been like that in Guilty Gear.
Not even being enough to force your opponent away from the width that you're trying to force. There might be some balancing reasons for why is this way. I wouldn't know because I don't play at the level where this becomes a factor for me. But that doesn't excuse the fact that this is extremely unintuitive. If someone says just block and faultless at the same time, you expect it to work as described. But a more accurate description would be just block and faultless, and also flip this coin, guess heads if you're wrong, kill your dog, and the window so slim against an action you have no control over, more likely to in the after hours that I have
Oh god.
seen
This is
zero instant faultless defenses.
He's right, dude. Like when I played it online, man, nobody does it because it's so fucking hard to do.
I'm sure that some pro players have been doing it.
For a game that stresses on making it easier, why the fuck do you make it so fucking hard?
If 99% of the player base can't even make this mechanic appear. I understand that I'm English and so I use this word incorrectly a lot, but when literally nobody has used this mechanic in 100 hours of playtime, even by fucking accident, I think that should be good reason to sound that this mechanic doesn't fucking work a lot. And if faultless defense is
And he's absolutely right. I felt the same way, man. I felt like I was just like, can't be this bad at doing this fucking move.
I think that analogy works at all, but I just assume that you get
Like I gave up trying to do it because it just felt like it was such a chore. And I like just blocking. I love to do that shit. And it's like, God, it feels like a chore to do it in this game.
As you might be able to tell, I think that the defensive systems are extremely weak at the moment, and because your choices are so limited on what can actually be effective, once you're responding to someone else's pressure, it feels like you're playing patty cake with your opponent rather than trying to find the right opportunity to sink the machine. If the defense have actual choices to make and not just responding to someone reset pressure with hot back, I think that it would make for a significantly more interesting game. This wouldn't even necessarily need to be by giving the defender more options, but by giving the aggressor more variety in how they can open something up. But in order to do that, you'd likely have to reform and subsequently break the rest of the game as well. I think that in terms of universal mechanics, that's all I really have to say. Almost 20 minutes of it's not excellent later. So let's fast our way to the next disjointed piece of art pizza. Yes, that is the analogy we're still on if we forgot. Characters.
Yeah.
If you haven't already lost respect for me, I have good news. The choice of characters will send you into such an anger-fueled frenzy you'll likely have a heart attack and see the play.
Like I said, he just pisses all the Stripe players off, dude. It's the way he talks.
Yes, I'm a degenerate.
I use May. I'm a May user too. She's my third best character. Like I use her too. And I actually like using her interestingly.
Because I've seen quite a few people on the electric cesspit we call the internet claim that the characters aren't unique between them and all feels the same, which is entirely wrong. What I think that those people are trying to get at is the lack of flexibility in the universal mechanics that makes them play very similar from person to person.
Yeah, that's true.
This makes them feel
The system.
like to fill certain roles like you're playing a hero shooter rather than be a character to mold into your own like you're on screen so much that you can assume that May was the puppet, and B, a character that's definitely some form of phobic or is seeing how much he doesn't want other people near him, but believe me, I tried and failed to like any of the other characters. Or at least I failed to like playing as them, which I find not necessarily being too common for. Even though Dark Souls is one of my favourite games of all time, I'm not going to be having as good a time if you tell me to put away the weapon screens and go to Japan and wonder where the subtitles are, and pick up the staff and start cosplaying Ganf, which is just the floor of the type. It's intentionally meant to be flexible and having options to make it so that everyone can find a way to play that they like, rather than making every option on every player to go for.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the whole design everything with intent, where the solutions are set. It's like you do this move when in this situation all the time.
Universal systems never allowing them to be characters with a lot of expression. You might have expression for whether someone likes to grab a lot or how frequently they look for a frame trap, but many of the characters don't have interesting ways to do things with their toolset until they have some meter. It's a shame that we're all poor then, because we're not likely to gain enough meter to use the Roman Council more than once, maybe twice at a stretch per match.
That's
All
true.
characters in neutral don't have full screen options, with many of the mid-screen options almost always leading to close quarters follow-ups because nobody benefits from distance, except for Axel and some other exceptions, and I'm making the ones that are obvious to the people that have already played it for the sake of brevity, because despite how long we've been here, I'm genuinely trying to keep this short. I certainly wouldn't
It is. Why do you think I keep saying
the
it?
consistent lack of full-screen choices makes even positional choices seem samey between players. Many matches between different people playing the same matchups will end up playing nearly identical because of this lack of opportunity for player expression.
Yep.
As a result, a lot of my time
Like I said, this dude knows what he's talking about. I feel like this guy, me and him have a kindred mind in how we think about this game. He's not like the best player, but he knows what's up.
Where Jimmy Joe Silver and SF5 can get put up against literal TSM-sponsored Swedish basketball players. That leaves me feeling impartial towards most of the characters, and leaves those that I like playing against limited to the characters that can actually do a bit more outside of just wanting to be near you. A part of me likes playing against characters like Fouch and Axel, characters who are actually doing things from full screen, and at least have the smallest amount of player expression by having toolsets that play into showing off how you choose to be a gigantic pussy, even if retreat and jump S doesn't just need a nerf, it needs a public decapitation. Leonard Amelia forced me to make predictions rather than just wait the situation out when they're up close, which is pretty fun, but characters like Kyle and Ram are just repeating the same cycle over and over again. Saul's frustrating to play against because he's a collection of all of the worst balanced choices that you can make combined, but his toolset is actually quite fun to play, both with in practice and against in theory, because of just how much can make him work for you. Obviously, he's not fun to play against right now, because in his current state, it's like trying to wrangle a rabid Godzilla to sit down nicely for the vet. When his damage numbers have been toned down to almost reasonable levels, I'd imagine that for many people, he'd be one of the most enjoyable matchups to be on the receiving end. I don't think that it can be understated how annoying May is to play against. Not because she's extremely powerful, but because between these three moves, you might as well have the game make all the choices for you.
Yeah, it's true, dude. She has her, like, set 3 moves that she uses.
To play against, even if it's not very good. This fucking guy. I know that the Auto God and Fujin isn't very good, but just because it's easy to deal with doesn't mean that it's engaging to play against. You're playing against RGs that throw this shit out all the time, and it's a constant game of, no, stop, I know that that's why you're playing the character, but I'm bored of responding to your poor decision making. The rest of the cast, however, I think is reluctantly fine. I guess lackluster is a better word that I would use for it. I don't ever particularly look forward to playing against any of these characters, but again, this is due to the universal systems lacking any kind of player expression, making defense, neutral, and offense lackluster to both play and play against. I think that might be why I like Axel so much, and ended up drifting away from characters that I thought I might enjoy, like Millie and Giovanna, since they lean into parts of the game I dislike more. With a game that's not got a lot to work with creatively in the close range, it makes for a game where I'm having the most fun in neutral, and predicting what method of movement someone's going to approach with. Even when I'm not winning with Axel, I can start to enjoy it because it now becomes a game of fighting for my space again, or trying to trick you into thinking that I'm trying to flee. I never really want to engage with the offensive or defensive points of the game I don't like, but now when I do and I'm forced to engage with it, it becomes an opportunity for player expression rather than the point that the whole game is built around. I'm unfortunately not exaggerating when I say that none of the other characters really did that for me, which might be why outside of Axel I can only enjoy Strive and winning. I like May because she's an easy win brain AFK character, not because she's a character that's particularly interesting in gameplay. Axel fits my style, so I can sometimes enjoy the game. I want to reinforce my point from earlier, that you're not going to enjoy every single character in the cast, but the fact that out of 16 characters I enjoy one of them sometimes is a sign to me that I'm not enjoying the game because I like the game as a whole. I'm enjoying the game because this one option is allowing me to offset most of my problems with it, though allowing me to not have a bad time should not be confused with having a good time. Unsurprisingly, in the time that it took to write the script, speak it out, and then also get to this point in editing, I'm not having that great a time with Axel anymore, and as a result, I'm not really enjoying Strive. I can enjoy other titles outside of the characters that I can play well, because I think that the universal mechanics are engaging enough to give me that sense of satisfaction and expression. Finding one character that you gel with a lot should be an enhancement to the title that you already enjoy intrinsically, rather than the only reason that you are enjoying the title. As a side tangent, I think the games that are built specifically for close-range engagements like Strive can be a good time. Just look at Tekken. It's a bit of an oversimplification to say that Tekken is only played at the close range, but it's clearly designed around its close-range gameplay. For that reason, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but for the people that like that particular flavor of game, it's one of the best experiences that they can have. I might not like Sekiro, but for the people that like playing parry characters and searchlights, I can see why they might have held it high as one of the best. If Strive had pushed to create for a more intricate close-up game with more emphasis on those defensive mechanics to make the process of opening someone up not just a game of you've now decided to press B, or maybe you're up backing, I could see myself enjoying a lot more of the cast. But with so many of the characters wanting to be in your face where the game gets the least interesting, I don't see much value in the characters, and as such, I can only enjoy very particular sections of the game. Overall, I think that Strive's core gameplay leaves a lot to be desired. The main problem being that the movement naturally draws you into close quarters, but that close quarters gameplay lacks any immediate sense of choice, both defensively and offensively. The block strings are simple and small, so there's a lot of emphasis on resets, at which point my game becomes are they going to press to try and steal the advantage, jump to avoid the reset, or turtle off and do nothing. This is the core of most fighting games on block that allow you to jump and actually do something, and it's certainly a good foundation to work with, but I'm not impressed by the groundwork of the game game, I'm impressed by the house that was built on it. And while what's built right now functions just fine, nothing about it is particularly impressive, especially since the sex basement that you built that was the Roman Council feels closer to a sex crawl space with how little opportunity there is to access it. This leaves me looking for more interesting things happening in the neutral, but the air movement means I never want to dodge and weave my way through a scenario, and most of the characters clearly aren't designed to be doing much at longer distances other than getting closer to each other. The spacing element of the mid-range can be kind of fun, but since it's all built to lead into a lackluster close quarters engagement, I find myself not wanting to experience it like it's a terrible ending to an otherwise above average anime. The ending of the race literally ruined the rest of the show. It's awful. You might assume that with everything I've said, I hate this game, and I certainly haven't fallen in love with it, but despite how much I have to critique it, I still think that it's a decently well-made game. It just feels like there's nothing unique enough happening to offset its negativity to stand out really hard, which leaves me not want to come back for seconds after I've already shoveled 100 hours of mediocre fighting games into my mouth. That's admittedly a massive amount of time.
That's the feeling I get. Mediocre, dude. Mediocre. That is the word.
Games in the franchise is that it's got hands down the best netcode in the genre. I can't believe it's taken this many years for a major title to catch up with smaller games like Skullgirls and every single game given third-party emulation networking through Fightcade, but Strike absolutely knocks it out of the park with its online play. Or at least, it certainly does once you're in the match. Everything else outside of the match feels like you're trying to navigate the rubble of Kovat to find a setup. I reckon that now's as good a time as any to point out that the biggest thing holding this game back at the moment is the lobby system and the server communication time.
The lobby system is such trash in this game. It's one of the worst lobby systems I've ever seen. It looks ugly, it's stupid, man.
Every moment outside of the core game is near tragic. Normal menu navigation wouldn't even be a point to discuss. So if you haven't played Strike, take some time to think about just how bad it has to be to get a whole section of the video dedicated to it.
The load times are bad, dude.
For the people skipping by in this video, Strike's netcode is fantastic. It's probably helped by an extremely high player base for a fighting game, but I have never played a title that runs smoother online. The fact that Rollback was a "we might have this if we get around to it" feature, and it puts every other game on the market to shame, almost justifies the asking price on its own. The connection to your opponent should be like good UI design. If it's done correctly, I should never even think about it. And outside the first 3 days where I was shocked by just how much I could push a button and have it come out sometime within this century, I've nearly never looked at the ping. Compare that to Guilty Gear XR, and no matter how much I love the title, I can't help but fixate on the shit-stained pants, shoes, and shirt that it's wearing with the frame delay. I strongly believe that any other title going forward without rollback in the future is going to struggle severely because of just how strong a showing Strive has put in. So it's a shame that it's tied to have a hotel with less questionable activity and a main menu that takes so long to connect to that as soon as I was sending my package via carrier pigeon. On the topic of the main menu, not only should it not take 2 full minutes to connect to your basic entry point to the features of the game, I've got a feeling it's only going to get worse as time goes on unless it's actively addressed. I say that because every single time I want to revisit Dragon Ball FighterZ, it seems to take longer and longer to connect to the lobby online as well. If Arc System Works hasn't been able to fix this problem in an old title that seems to be extremely similar, if not identical, then I don't see this being fixed in this title unless people start specifically voicing concern while the game still has developers on it. Knowing how game dev goes, it's likely that by the time this video is released, the amount of active developers has plummeted for the title already. But if they're putting out DLC, we still might have a shot at getting this resolved, if we make enough of an argument that this would significantly benefit the whole player base if they were to optimize this process. On the other hand, the lobbies and the rank system are a mess, but realistically, I think that there's been so much work put into it and so much of the game has been built around it that we're likely to not see this get significant improvements ever. I've seen quite a lot of people voice complain about the visuals of the lobbies, and while I also took the same low-hanging fruit of a complaint only 285 words ago, that's far from the problem. so I don't think anyone can be trusted to judge visuals in all honesty. The two actual problems are the dual stations themselves and the ranking system. The problem with
Yeah, the ranking system is absolute ass.
but also in part.
And I heard they never fixed it.
Is that hidden inside of rank lobbies, you can see your opponent's character beforehand and get a general idea of how much time they've put into them, but not probably the most vital piece of information that is how likely I am to see teleporting like Darcy having a seizure because of Wi-Fi. I've heard the criticism that Wi-Fi indicators and ping being displayed before a match takes place leaves players with connections that aren't stable or locked outside of the game and unable to play. And I certainly feel like this is a valid problem. But I shouldn't have to leave my gameplay experience up to chance, and not letting me know what peer-to-peer connection I'm about to be playing in is like playing a game of League of Legends but the server I'm going to be connected to is randomized. Being able to see someone else's character can also have another problem, in that people can just avoid playing against specific characters. I'm certainly not against that in an unranked match, but in a competitive environment it makes for a ladder system that's easy to manipulate by intentionally playing matchups that put you in an advantage. That's if you can even get into a match. Fail to obtain dual station information
That's errors so much.
into your retina if you play this game for any significant amount of time. The message is some kind of server error for these specific ports, and simply does not connect.
That's been around since previous games. Like Zerd has it, BlazBlue has it.
Somebody can be on a setup, but nobody can connect to them on the other side because the other person is getting a dual station information error. So they stand there waiting for people to connect, but nobody ever does. A lot of your time playing, whether that be a rank or a normal match, will be running around trying to find a station that you're able to connect to, and then waiting for someone else to also stop questioning if they're suffering exponential packet loss to get on the other side. And occasionally,
What's up, Scape? How you doing?
I legitimately think that this will end up hurting the longevity of the title, because even for a lot of us who are intending to go into the game,
Yeah, I was just showing Blades West Drive is a bad game. This is like one of the best reviews in my opinion, on the internet. This guy knows what he's talking about. I feel like this guy knows my brain. This dude, like, speaks my mind. He really does. It's like, damn, dude, like, so many things he says, I think the exact same thing.
Each floor dictates a rank, 10 standard floors, and a not so hidden 11th floor called Celestial. Parts of this system are excellent, even though the dual stations seem indecisive about letting you connect to them. The floors do a good job of keeping players at higher skill levels from beating up the new players like college students put into a boxing ring with preschoolers. Not by disallowing those matches to happen, but by making the children have to request it. Players at higher rank can't access the floors of those below them, but players at lower rank can access the ones above them, with the exception of Celestial, which is locked away until you rank up past potential. Challenge themselves to do so. Also leaves players at the higher end of the skill ceiling to be able to not have to deal with the admittedly pretty good task of beating up players at significantly lower skill levels. Celestial is also unique in that while you can't go down to a normal floor, Celestial
It's almost over. 13 minutes. I'm just going to show them when I finish it and go back to my game.
But when you consider that many people get to Celestial with their main and then want to learn another character,
No problem, dude. It's a really, really good, in-depth review. I think this guy knows what he's talking about. I think this, even though he's an intermediate player, he knows what he's talking about.
Celestial was the higher end of the skill ceiling rather than the highest. Celestial is just way too easy to get into. And I think that's
I got the Celestial fucking day 2. I was in Celestial day 2. Like, I got to the top floor on my second day. I was like, this shit's fucking a joke, man. And I had like a 75% win ratio. Just thought it was like this is such a joke. Like, oh look, I'm at the best floor. Okay, that was easy. The floor thing, I think it's trash. The rank system in this game is awful.
There's no communication as to how close or far you are to ranking up, aside from a brief message that sometimes appears in the pre-match that I can't show you because I'm now Celestial, but also because the rank matches in Strive are three. Best of three or first of three? No. Just three. Regardless of win or loss count, Strive picked out
I like how he describes that. Best of three? What? No, just three. That makes no fucking sense. We're just gonna have 3 matches, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, why isn't it best 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5? No, it's just 3. I don't get that. That makes no fucking sense.
This is fine. When a player wins the first 2 games and then loses the last, it feels like someone is being forced to declare a loss in an MMA fight, but also reluctantly forced to hit the winner in the balls as you both leave. That is to say, it feels like a competitive cliffhanger that leaves neither player satisfied, as you don't have the games to see if your opponent is
Yeah, like Escape. I'm doing okay.
or if they just got lucky. All of these combined leave the rank system feeling
So
like it's
I'm just going back to this because I'm gonna be trying out Jam when she comes out in 2 weeks. Just to see, I'm probably gonna be disappointed again.
because God knows that there isn't anything worthwhile in the single player.
I'm gonna be like playing Jam, and I'd be like, ugh, it's like,
But would you look at that?
I would like to be wrong, but I don't think I'm gonna be wrong.
Like fighting games as a genre, I just like good video game style. This is a problem that the whole genre suffers from. I can't believe that games still get away with glorifying 8-bot matches in a row, calling it arcade mode, and then have people willing to turn around and defend it like these are worthwhile inclusions to the title.
Yeah.
And maybe that's me being
That's a big problem with fighting games, dude. They feel they're just not substantive in terms of what they offer. Like, their modes are just bland. It's just arcade mode that's been done to death. We're beyond that. We are beyond that arcade mode, 8-player, 8 computer opponents, fight the boss thing. Like, it doesn't, it's just, it's so redundant.
And since it comes right at the end, it is supposed to be a surprise. I guess I'll put a spoiler warning here for the people who care about it. Yes, it is an hour into the video, fuck off. The modifier is a double battle. You and an AI-controlled partner take on a high HP mobile version of Yuki. At first I was quite charmed by this. It was quite novel to see a game that doesn't really seem too keen on being considered bullshit throw out the window for a power trip.
They were trying to copy Street Fighter Alpha with dramatic battle. That's basically all this is. This is dramatic battle.
2-on-1s against the same character, even if you're playing as him. I was left a little bit disappointed, especially since I've been forced to turn my brain off for the last 8 minutes to get there. I just found out, however, that if we win every single round of every single match that comes beforehand, you won't be treated to a double battle. Instead, you will be treated to quite literally the worst boss fight that I have ever engaged with. Here's my live reaction to that. Oh my god.
Yeah, fucking hyper Nagoriyuki. Just all those iframes, dude. He does insane damage. Yeah, fucking roided ass motherfucker, dude. Oh god, it's too funny, dude.
Lackluster when I'm sure that everyone on the team also knows that, but has to spend the last year adjusting to working from home. And if the Asian game industry is anything like the English one, the pandemic left most of their staff's motivation converted from working on games to collecting the most sturdy ropes and the least sturdy chairs. I'm sure that they would have had more done with it had they been.
Man, it's just again, it's just so many problems with this game that really just make the game feel bland. It really does.
Matches against boss. But if there was very little life in the arcade mode, survival must be a future vision of the heat death of the universe. It's literally bot matches at an endless spree, with nothing interesting occurs. Trying to glean anything from this mode is almost impossible. The arcade mode is basically plain white bread with some butter. Giving you more bread and taking away the butter isn't going to make you enjoy.
Oh god, that fucking analogy. Oh god, that fucking analogy is great. More bread, please, with more butter. Oh god, that is a beautiful analogy for the game. It's just white bread and butter. Oh, you want some more? Oh God.
Double speed in English and came to the conclusion that
His analogies are great. It just shows how bland the game is.
I mean, more than there already is. This is not the part of Guilty Gear that's made for me. Instead, it's the music, gameplay, and visuals. So in order to not do anything that might end up hurting my reputation, even
I haven't. Can you believe I have not looked at the story for this game? I refuse to watch it.
My reputation. Do you remember when I said I don't think anyone should be allowed to judge the game graphically? Let's prove myself correct with a contradiction.
Like I said, there's the things that are good. I agree with
I'm
them.
afraid that I'm going to say that Strive looks bad. I'd like to remind you that the baseball bat from earlier was made from what keeps me dense, not what keeps me on the waiting list.
It's just sad that the things that are good is not very important to me. It's like, oh, it looks good. I'm like, visuals don't mean a lot to me. Like, it's nice that it's pretty, but it's like, okay.
Looks extremely bland, but I can at least justify that it makes for more space for characters and stages to shine. And if you think that there's any more stage deserving of praise than Axel's,
The Axel stage looks beautiful.
there's so much life going on in this stage with so many moving parts and vibrant
Axel stage is pretty badass. Oh, that's probably one of the prettiest Guilty Gear stages in the entire series.
More than Axel's is just such a massive highlight. That doesn't mean that there aren't.
But I do feel like a lot of the stages in this game are bland as fuck, dude. There's just not much going on.
This becomes a large problem when your eyes are darting around the screen towards the end of a life, trying to take in all of the information around you and see whether a risky escape from the corner is worth it. The combo counter looks like it's got the personality of playing.
See, that's the thing with the Guilty Gear music. Like, Stride's music's kind of. I don't like the fact that they all have lyrics. I think it's kind of distracting.
The big issue is when the game wants to emphasize a counter hit, not because emphasizing a major gameplay element that a lot of players don't understand is a bad thing, but because it does so by slowing down the whole game.
I don't like that slow down shit with counter. Ooh, like it throws your whole timing off. God, it throws me off so bad when that counter hit hits. Like, it just like, oh. I hate that, dude. It's very disruptive, dude, when you're playing. Yeah, it literally feels like a stutter in your rhythm. It's like playing a rhythm game, and then you like desyncs in the middle of the song, and you're like trying to maintain rhythm. That's what it feels like.
Oh well, at least the BGM claps. And if you think that Disaster of Passion isn't the best song, you're literally
I disagree with him on that one. I do not like Disaster of Passion. It's okay. It's not May's best song like everybody thinks.
I know that it looks that way, and I'm standing over the corpse of the game that I just tore to shreds, but I promise you that the knife that I'm holding was used to kill Granblue.
I swear to he hates Granblue. He gave that game a 2 out of 10. He hates Granblue, dude.
I'm incredibly bored on top. This game does have very strong positive elements, so not only the obvious ones like how Drop Dead Gorgeous is. The Roman Council system is such a simple idea with incredibly interesting ramifications on how it can affect the game. You've got a nice blend of characters from extremely simple to decently complicated, and the netcode means that in 4 years' time, when the player base is only a fraction of its current height, you'll still be able to find an acceptable match anywhere in the world. But none of that outweighs that so much of the game feels restricted. To the meter, the council system, and the movement, it really feels like you're constantly having a fun slap out of your hands anytime it starts to get really
It's so true.
Strive finds a middle ground of trying to appeal to everyone without doing anything particularly spectacular. I understand that video games are products, not children to be cradled unlike some FGC members that throw a tantrum anytime you even look at a game that they like. But I'd rather something be out there and polarizing in its quality rather than play it safe and be unimpressionable. For some people, I'm sure that this is fine, not every single title has to be a 10 out of 10, but when the asking price rivals the tax that Jeff Bezos hasn't paid and the season pass costs the GDP of Somalia, you really have to pull out all of the stops and make something fantastic. So Strive doesn't tickle my cock and suck me dry like I wanted, so I should in theory be looking for it to change. But seeing as how many people are enjoying it, I don't necessarily think that the game would benefit from seeing the dramatic changes that I want to make it more enjoyable. This makes me feel like a bit of a hypocrite the way that you're staring at me contradict myself in the closing minutes, but also fuck you. Clearly there's something in the general gameplay that appeals to people, and while I understand it the same way that I understand Mandarin, much like a typical English tourist in Asia, it starts to get unfair to request changes just to accommodate me. And even with a lack of understanding, it's not going to stop me from popping in whenever there's new DLC, but I was really looking for a new game to light the fighting game fire under my ass the way that the previous game in the franchise did.
Yeah, I love that phrase, light the fire under my ass, dude. That's what I want. That's what I want, man. I want light that fire under my ass. Like, give me that shit. Did not do that.
It's fucking not. I didn't spend £55 on, ooh, somebody else likes it, but at least that's I know that I'm so out by this game because my heights were set so high and it didn't deliver. But once I pull off and take apart what's already there, I still see a title that's nearly entirely run-of-the-mill and some nice packaging that feels bad to work with. I don't see why everyone's showering it in praise, but it also didn't leave a strong enough impression on me to find a reason to care. And so much like the rest of Strive, that's fine.
Like, look how sad he sounds, you know?
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Holy shit, the accent is so good!
Like, I swear to God, like, you hear how depressed he sounds. Like he almost wants to cry. Because he was like, that's how I feel, dude. Like, the emotions right there is just that. I feel like I said, we're like a kindred spirit. Like, it's like, man, we must be lost brothers. Like how he describes this shit. And I was like, I feel so fucking the same way. Like, the disappointment is just like, I'm just gonna go, I guess, do something. You know, like, you know what I mean? It's just like you feel like someone's just been devoid of their soul. That's what it feels like. Something was taken from you. Like, you were expecting so much. This is gonna be the magnum opus. And then the disappointment when it comes to your face, and you're just like, wow. It's like, and you have nothing to say. You're like, well, what am I supposed to say? It's like, oh, everybody else thinks it's the greatest shit ever, and I'm the one of the few people that doesn't like it. And it's just, like, he's the same way. He's like, everybody else like it, I guess it's fine. But it's like, I don't like it. That's the problem. It's not for me. Well, you know, that I felt the same way with him. Like I said, he describes how I feel to a T. Like, he's very eloquent with his words. The Grand Blue review as he just rips it apart. I'm gonna play it. I don't know if it's in here. Like, I don't know if it's on this channel. Because I know he has multiple channels. Let me see, Grand Blue. Is there one? I don't think it's on here. I probably have to look for it. He has multiple channels. I know he has another one. I gotta find it. You there? Oh, Escape. Are you there? Not sure if you're still there. Yeah, like I said, I just feel like I really felt like the elephant in the room when it comes to Strive. Like, everybody's loving it, and I'm the only one that's not loving it. Like, I go and see in Escape's room, everybody and their mom's like, "Oh my God, it's the greatest shit ever," and I'm kind of like, meh. You know what I mean? It just, you feel like the one guy out of the million people, and it's like, am I the only person that feels this way? Am I really the odd man out? Am I literally alone in this regard? That's how I felt. Like I was the only person that was like really bitching about it, you know, and I was just like, man, I feel alone here. Like, why is everybody else, like you said, like, why is everybody else is showering this is the greatest anime fighting game ever made? And it's like, dude, it's like, what the fuck? Am I seeing something that everybody else sees that I don't see? Like, do I, potato? I don't know. You found it. Oh yeah.
Fighting games are for everyone, but not every fighting game is for everyone. This is a very simple premise that I'm sure we all understand, but recently I was teaching some friends Tekken who never really played a fighting game, and it creeped into my head again.
I think I've seen this video before.
Racing games, any genre really, have differences from game to game that will make it supply its own separate experience. That's why the phrase, I can't get into fighting games, normally isn't accurate. It's actually the games that I tried didn't really give me what I wanted. They pick up the game, lose 10 games in a row, and stop playing because they didn't really understand what was going on. It made them feel dumb. It's not that these people are dumb, it's that they've been given the advice, pick whatever, and then when they pick up Guilty Gear, whatever the fuck the old version is called, where the player base is all 3+ year veterans and there's no guiding resources, they're still expected to go, I'm learning. This is of course hyperbole after all, but it's to see people playing that game. They're not learning, they're getting annoyed and building a negative idea of fighting games in their head. They need to feel a sense of accomplishment early so that they can continue to have a goal.
Yeah, I know. There was. I still felt that the majority loved it, though. Especially non-Guilty Gear fans loved it. Like, again, it just didn't feel like it was for Guilty Gear fans. It was for everybody that didn't play Guilty Gear.
You end up playing against people that are almost exclusively as uninformed as you. These systems work because they're densely populated enough so that you have players at all skill levels. When these games eventually become less popular, it becomes much harder to find anyone at your skill level. The majority of people still playing will be the people at the higher end of the skill scale, which makes the process of finding that hook to keep you interested much harder because you're just getting fucked. That's why I think that one of the best pieces of advice that you can give to someone who wants to get into fighting games is pick a game that you like the look of, that's popular. Anyone who's playing fighting games will be improving slowly over time. Every veteran knows this because we all create smaller goals that we want to achieve that become the satisfaction we're looking for. And that goal,
Yeah, but how long did it take them to quit? Did they quit like me in 3 days? Or did they quit like... Or did they quit like years later?
It's easier to set a real achievable goal because the universal vague goal is satisfied temporarily but becomes harder to achieve over time. A player wins for a bit and then they lose. They notice that their opponent was doing a lot more damage to them, so they set a goal to learn.
I feel like I was like a world record for fastest quit. 3 days was pretty fast.
Provide them with a permanent skill that leads to winning. In a less populated game, the player goes 0-20 and they refund the game. That's not a problem with the game, it's not a problem with the person, it's hardly...
People tell me, "Oh, you're just not good at it. That's why you gave up so fast. You're just bad at the game." Like that's the excuse I hate hearing, man. Like seriously, I hate that shit. You just quit because you're just bad at it. You know, you don't understand how it works. I'm like, you're telling me I don't understand how Guilty Gear works? Oh man, don't get me into that shit. Do not get into an argument with me on that shit. Like I will get livid if someone tells me that shit, because that's like, no, that is not true. That's a bunch of bullshit.
More people to learn it along with. Now, that's not necessarily true in relation to Tekken. Thankfully, the ranks in Tekken are actually really well populated because of, at the time, rating. XQC and a couple of other streamers have been playing it. That doesn't really mean that it doesn't feel like it. When you're going into a game that's 3 years deep, everything's going to feel like a steeper mountain than it actually is, because you're naturally going to be thinking, well, everyone else is knowing what the fuck is going on, I don't. That's why I probably also recommend trying to pick something new if you're new to fighting games.
Yeah, new is always. That's why do you think I always say new fighting games are the best games to play? Because it's not established. You're on even ground.
On top of being something that they like the look of, obviously. But what about you? Because I know you. There's only like 300 of you. How could I not know you? You're either a person who's decently well invested in fighting games,
Warrior Smasher.
The best jam player I thought was fucking Teresa. I met Teresa.
For you. You see, once you're knee deep into fighting game culture, you'll probably be down to play.
That Teresa was the jam plaler. Hey, I don't know any other jam players other than Teresa.
Yeah, I like fighting games. I've played Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I mean more so, the Steam sale happened, and now I have to wade through fucking hentai fighting games to play Counter-Strike. But just because you're knee deep into it doesn't mean that you'll like it. Take, for example... Everyone who knows me knows this game, I had more fun working 3 years at McDonald's where I was so sad I used to start playing. I went into this going,
I'm sorry. Oh god, that fucking yell was great.
Complexity far enough for me to enjoy its depth, but it's not simplified enough that it feels pick up and play the same way a game like Fantasy Strike or Power Rangers does. In Fantasy Strike, you got 3 buttons and they're all simple as fuck. Pick up your fight stick and have a whale of a time. In Grand Blue, you've got 4 special moves and 4 buttons. Pick up your fight stick and have a whale of a time. But this move only has invincibility on the X. Okay, and you've got these variations on special. Okay, this move only works on time. Okay, I don't care. This very clearly isn't a bad thing. It creates depth in different ways. Now that you've got choices and responses that become more and less effective based on player choice. But I'm looking for
I just love how he just responds with something he doesn't hate. He's like, don't fucking care.
Fantasy Strike makes me feel like I could really be basic enough to put my mind to it. Grand Blue just makes me feel dumb. It's a strange middle ground where it supplies a level of mechanical complexity that just doesn't really appeal. This naturally shifts over time, I think. Like now, if you give me a game that has a bajillion choices, let's fucking go. But if you give me a game that's got 15 moves and you need to find a way that they all intertwine, just doesn't really hit me right. But then if you give me a game like Fantasy Strike, I'll learn to play it with my feet. This wouldn't be such a problem if I could find a character that I was really enamored with, but none of them hooked me. Take for example, Season 1 Tekken. I played King, I played for about 10 hours, and then I dropped Tekken. Did I have fun? Yes, but I didn't really get that hook. I wasn't eager to get home and play some more fucking Tekken. That was up until I watched some tournaments and played some Shaheen. For about 20 hours, and then I dropped it again. I'm still having fun, but it's just not what I was looking for. Then, at the start of Season 2, I came back and I picked up Heihachi on a whim. I think it was because I wanted to play a character that I didn't really see a lot, and... well, Heihachi was the hook, the moves, the character, the fucking... the child abuse, the rules of 3 is hard. I love it. Not much changed about the game. It's still Tekken, but I felt like I found the hook. And just because you like one part of the character doesn't mean you like the rest of it. Like, I love Blanca Balls and all these normals, but I don't like the rest of this kit. It just doesn't feel right. And same goes for Faust. Randomized items and bombs, let's fucking go! But I don't like this and this and this. These are characters I like, but they've got deal breakers for me. And if these were the only characters that I liked, I'd have ended up dropping these games a long time ago. But what if you were to combine the best 2 bits of these characters? You'd have this absolute unit. And this lad right here carried me to liking the rest of the game. You need the hook, but what supplies the hook isn't exactly clear and it isn't always dictated by the game. It's a personal preference. If the game that you want to play doesn't have a character that you can play with, it becomes impossible to engage.
It just sucks, dude. I mean, like I said, it just sucks when you have your favorite fighting game franchise devolve into something so hideous. That's what's really upsetting.
Unless you like these 6 characters, there's not a huge amount for you to do in this game because, well, your method of interaction is the character. If you don't like the characters, it's all done. But that's probably not what you were thinking when
I did not like them fighting hearts.
You were probably thinking, what the fuck is this, ponies? And actually, it's a variety of animals. But this aesthetic might have put you off, and it put me off initially too, but I moved past it and I think it's pretty good. It's certainly not a mainstay game for me. I've got more issues with the defense options than the visuals, but I'll give it.
Yeah, there's like no defense options in this game. It's like Skullgirls.
It's a good laugh, and I pick it up from time to time, which makes me pretty disappointed that people won't try games like this and Skullgirls purely based on the fact that they look this way. I mean,
yep. I've said this multiple times. I have said this very thing he's talking about several times. People will not play certain games just because they don't look serious, they don't look, mature, so they must not be good. Which, I hate that shit. Oh, it's got a bunch of cute girl characters, must be a shallow piece of shit.
Weird, man. This shit makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it. Get it away from me. I don't want to know the mechanics. I never will know the mechanics. This shit's weird. Well, in Guilty Gear, we have a problem with every character was made. Yes, it's kind of a deal breaker. Kind of like how Mortal Kombat is for quite a lot of people, myself kind of included. I don't do broken bones well. It makes me feel a little bit numb in the legs. It's call me a pussy, but it's true. If the aesthetics don't give you the itch, or more likely make you want to call the police, it's something that gets between you and the game. The same goes for the amount of time that you have to invest. This one isn't necessarily connected to the game's complexity, but it's more so tied to your level of understanding of the genre, and also the amount of complexity that's about to go into the game. For example, SF5 isn't a game that I've played since the time of its release, because my computer couldn't run it at the time, but it wouldn't take me very long to pick it up. That's because I've played a really wide variety of fighting games, and the characters that are in that game have very easy to understand concepts, which means if I wanted to put like 3 hours into it and start learning, I'd probably have a great time. That's time that I've got. So
Well, I mean, you played a lot more than I did, and you stuck with it a lot longer than I did.
XR today, well, what the fuck? XR isn't a game you can learn in 3 hours. It's a game you learn in 8 hours, turned sideways. It's a good job that I was learning XR when I was in school and not really doing anything productive, which meant I actually had time to get familiar with the game over all of that period of time. If I went to learn the game now, where I'm coming home from work and debating 15 minutes of Tekken or Gear before I inevitably get tired and play 3 hours of Minecraft before going to bed, I would have never learned it. That's not a problem with the game, but it's a game with so much that you need to learn, so many asterisks on different situations. If you're not in a position to learn it, you're not going to have a good time with it. This is also compounded if you've also got other games that you're currently learning or games that you've played for a couple of years and want to maintain a certain level of quality. It might be possible if you've got some other friends to play alongside with. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The people that you play with can be a massive deal breaker. If all your friends were jumping off a cliff into a pool of SNK heroin,
Oh God,
no, you're a respectable member of society. But you consider taking the plunge.
God, not this game, not this game, not this game. Oh my God!
For example, in Third Strike,
Shoot me, shoot me!
once a year I went and put it down 30 minutes.
This game is trash, man.
Local and found out that everyone was sick as fuck. These boys are great. They make it so that even if it's not my first choice of game to play, 3S is on my mind a lot more than it would normally be. I know that for many people, but even if they aren't thinking about it, it's something that will dictate what they want to play. Like take for example the amount of people that actively want to play Tekken at the moment. Since there's no tournaments and this exists, I've seen the Tekken community get around.
And he comes back at 8. Yay, the character nobody asked for.
Until the League Fighting game comes out. And look at me now, all I do is show Guilty Gear, Street Fighter 4 and talk about things no one really cares about. And these are just the things that come to mind for me. Like, some people might not want to play a game that's deep and interesting and appeals to them because nobody runs offline tournaments for it anymore. Fuck, I'll stop using Guilty Gear as an example game. Some people might not want to play a game that's deep and interesting and appeals to them because the online sucks. Fuck! Some people might not want to play a game that's on the This is something that has been an issue for Skullgirls recently, and I've also seen
Oh God!
which, by the way, Ryan, please give me a key. I love you. This is something that doesn't really come into mind for me personally. I'm very firmly in
Yeah, got Zard on the brain.
So some people, they might love the idea of playing Tekken, but once you start reaching that mid-level where you have to start understanding frame data more to really get your knees deep into beating someone's ass, they might turn around and just be done with it. Some people could really enjoy Guilty Gear if the frame data was more easily accessible in the game so that they could break down scenarios, but its lack of representation becomes a problem. This is a big issue for me personally. I can look past it because there's external resources for it, but like, fuck, I wish there was somewhere in the game that would just tell me that Slayer is plus 12 here because I've spent 600 hours trying to press here and now I can't break the habit. There's a lot of different factors that make and break games for people, a lot more than I've probably listed here. And so if you come up to me and you say, yo, you should try this game, it's really good,
No,
and the answer is
no.
no, don't get too disheartened. It might not be that I don't want
No,
to,
never. I would never recommend that game to anybody.
or maybe you're just a big fat dick and I don't want to play with you. I feel it's important to note that this isn't actually any particular person. This person doesn't exist, just in case, you thought it might be you, but it's not. You're a sweetheart. Thank you for watching. I don't know how to end this video, so I'm just gonna... Oh, did you know Fantasy Strike is free now? I think everyone should give this game a shot. It's got good netcode, it's actually got good cross-platform play, it's actually pick up and play, and it's good. It's good. This isn't a hashtag ad, by the way. Alright, bye.
Lily. Yeah. was that one. Yeah, I gotta do my dailies, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You made a tier list for fighting games? Okay, I have to watch this. Okay, I have to check it out. I'll check it out later. It's like 40 minutes long. I'll check it out later, dude. I need to focus on my dailies. I'm losing track of time. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, like I said, Escape. I don't know, man. I really don't know what the direction of fighting games is going right now. Like I said, Tekken 8's in shambles. Street Fighter 6 is kind of like a mixed bag right now, and I don't really care about Street Fighter. You know, Strive is... You know, I'm glad they removed a mechanic that nobody liked. I thought that was pretty awesome. I was like, wow, they actually listened to the crowd and got rid of a mechanic. That's actually good. I hope I know that's a low bar. You know, I wish it was more than that. But it's just like, man, dude, like, we're still kind of in the same spot. We're just not in a good, we're not in a good time frame right now for fighting games. I just don't think it's good. Fatal Fury. Yeah. Fatal Fury, sadly, just... there was a lot of bad decisions made with that game. It's just, you know, it's... I don't think it's gonna recover. It's like, the fans that like it, they'll play it, but as far as, like, saying, like, oh man, Fatal Fury's gonna come back, nah. It's just kind of just gonna be there. Oh, I can tell you, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's for sure. They have no idea what they're doing. They listen to these investors that dictate the direction fighting games go. They're so out of touch. And that's why I think, you know, it's never going to change. Because they're the ones, like, running the show. They're the ones dictating the narrative. They have all the say, and we're just like, nothing we can do. Because us bitching apparently doesn't do anything. Like, all the Tekken people bitch and complain all the day, and they don't listen. It's like, oh, well, even when I voice my concerns, you don't listen. You say the one thing you're going to do this thing, like, oh, we're going to put balance back in the game. We're going to put defense back in the game. We're going to go back to basics. And then what do? We just keep going the same direction we're going and double down. It's like, dude, you didn't hear anything I said. You completely ignored what I said. And that gets frustrating to deal with. You're like, okay, so what good is my voice if you don't listen? So, and the only way for them to listen is for them to fail. You know, I know I sound like a villain, like the way it sounds. You know, the villains say, how they say, I want to watch everything burn. I was like, well, I think that failure is really the only option for them to learn. They need to experience rock bottom to see the error of their ways. Like, I think that's the only way you can make them listen. Because you need to see them and say, hey, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're pulling the whole company down. You know, it's like, stop listening to them. It is. I think we're at that point, maybe we just need to fail. We need to just have complete utter failure. Where they because then you reflect on yourself and go, what did I do wrong? How can I fix this? Because then you have to do something. Because you just can't operate on failure. So I think that's why I see the positive in it. Maybe you tear it all down, and then you start up from the beginning again. I know it sucks starting over again, but it's like, dude, you gotta know. You have to remember your humble beginnings. What is it that made you great? What is it that you came from? You've lost sight of that. And I really believe I'm right in that regard. We have lost the error of their ways. Like, they have lost their way. And they need to reflect on that, their humble beginnings. What is it that made Tekken special? Why is it that every Tekken game kept getting better and better? The bumpy rides, the improvements and how the game became such a legacy. And it's like, you see what it was built upon. How you got to such greatness. But see, they got this mentality again with the whole making it accessible to everybody. Making the game so it's for everybody, which I think is a mistake. Because you I think, destroy the game's identity by doing that. Because now it's like it's not made for anybody. It's just made for everybody. So it loses its uniqueness. That's why so many games are so homogenized. Why they feel so samey. Because they all have that mindset of, like, we got to appeal to everybody. And it's like, well, fighting games are not for everybody. They never were. You should focus on making the game good, then stop focusing on appealing to everybody. Because they're trying to check a box, like, what hits every box for every single person? And I'm like, no, you can't look at it that way. The game comes first, not the people. Not the audience. The audience will come to it if they want to. But if you're like, oh, I gotta include this, I gotta include that, no, you're gonna, I think you're gonna ruin the game by doing that. No, I know, I agree. The too many mechanics that carry you. And there's such abusive mechanics because they're so strong. It's like, it's like Drive Rush. Every game has a form of Drive Rush that you mentioned, and it's such an oppressive mechanic. And it's like, oh yeah, always use it because it's so fucking strong. So everybody uses it. It's just the go-to button. The go-to thing to do. Oh look, heat. Pop it. And then you have no way to deal with it. Other than itself. Like, how do you deal with a strong mechanic? The same strong mechanic. That's your option. It's literally, there's nothing else. There's no other option. It's just do the same thing that the other person does to you. Because that's the answer. There's no other ways to deal with it. They make so many goddamn oppressive OP mechanics that just trivialize everything. And so again, you're forced to use that option as an answer. Yeah, I think we're just at a point where right now where something needs to break. Something needs to be. We need some insane change right now. Fighting games need to change. They're just not healthy the way they are. We're definitely just rolling off a cliff with them right now. We're headed to disaster territory. We're heading into the where fighting games may not exist anymore. You know, people are getting tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired. I am literally exhausted with how fighting games are now. I'm so tired of it. I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. I don't feel like the game lets me play the way I want to. It doesn't let me express myself. It's just, it limits me beyond belief, and I'm just like, it's just got nothing for me. So it's just like, and then I'm forced to play old games, which I don't want to. I don't blame people for going back to old games, but the fact that we have to keep going back to old shit just to enjoy ourselves is kind of sad. It's like, you know, it's nice to look towards future things, and you're hoping the future gets better, and you're like, no, it gets worse. Like, oh, that's not good. Which game are you talking about? What's the name of it? Ah! What's the name of the game? You can tell me the name. The only other game I've been watching recently is that new I cannot say this fucking game. The Perfect Well Anastasia, the sequel to Akatsuki Blitzkampf, the update. I was watching matches for that. That game's cool. That game's cool. I think that game's pretty cool. Yeah, Damon Bright. I know that finally came to Steam. It's not the latest version. It's just, I think it's called Additional Game. I know there's a newer one that's only on EX Arcadia. That, you know, unfortunately, it's an exclusive. So we'll never get the updated version of the game, which kind of sucks. It's cool. It is different. I've played it before, a long time ago. It's cool. It is definitely unique, for sure. But I will say that game is pretty, like, dead in the water as far as player base. You're just going to get the established veterans. You know, it's the same problem that Uniel has. It's a very niche fighter that only those set people are going to play, and you're going to have to play with those people that are veterans. That's what I really believe. Like, I don't know if you heard about Uniel. Like, supposedly Uniel's getting removed from Arc Revo. It will no longer appear at Arc Revo starting next year. They've already removed it off the venue. I'm just like, that's sad. No more Uniel 2. I'm just like, and I look at the turnout. It's like, wasn't it the worst turnout game for Evo? Like, I think it's the lowest played game out of all the games, which is kind of like, wow, poor Uniel, man. Uniel, rest in peace. Like, it's just like, even though it's probably one of the deepest anime fighters, nope, it's dead. It's gone. It has no future. Kind of sad. It's not my game, but it's just, I still think it's sad. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, no, I understand where you're coming from. it's an unfortunate, like, I see the problems with all types of games. Believe me, I'm not just narrow-sighted where I only see the problems with everything being, dumbed down and shit. I also see the opposite, where you got games like Uniel, which is, I consider good gatekeeper games that are only mainly made for the hardcore audience. Part 2 is made for those people. The 200-300 people that play that game. That's who's going to play it. You're not going to get new blood in those games. I'm just sorry, you're just not. So it's great for them, for the few people, but if you're expecting newer people to play it, ain't happening. Not going to happen. Oh, I agree. I mean, if I had a choice between that, I'd rather they just leave the game alone and let it be. Like, Uniel can be Uniel. This is coming from me. I'm not an Uniel player. I never will be. I've given it 2 chances. It's not for me. But I respect Uniel, and I would never want Uniel to compromise his identity. It's not for me. It's not. I learn, like the old saying, you ever heard the expression, stay in your lane? I believe in that statement. I think people should stay in their lane. If something's not for you, then don't fucking play it. And don't ruin it for everybody else that likes it. So just go play your game. Like, you shouldn't have to change another game that you don't like because it appeals to you. It's like, dude, it's not made for you. It was never for you. Like, seriously, just go play something else. That I agree with. That's what I said. Let Uniel be. I'm fine with the way it is. It's just not for me, and boo-hoo for me. You know what I mean? It's just like tough shit. It's not for me. I literally tell myself to go fuck off. Fuck me. Which is fine. I'm not going to cry over it because it's like, dude, it's just not for me. I tried it and I don't like it. But I respect it. It's a deep game, and the game should not get ruined for the audience that it's intended for. Which is what, and see, that's where I feel where my boundaries were crossed was Strive, because now you're touching my turf. Now that's how I felt. Like, hey, you're changing this game when it's meant for Guilty Gear players. Now it's like, okay, now it's not for Guilty Gear players anymore. So I feel disrespected because my game now is not for the core audience it was designed for. It is for a completely different audience now. So I'm just like, okay, what the fuck? That'd be like changing Uniel and making it play like Virtua Fighter. I'd be like, who the fuck, why does it play like a Virtua Fighter game? Uniel people would be pissed. Rightfully so, if that happened. So I think I'm justified in my anger, because it's like, hey, you changed my game, my series. I know how this series has went, and this thing is just a drastic departure where you're like, what the fuck is this? So that I get angry. I get really upset.
What's that taper, the water bill?
Oh, sure. Oh, I mean, I would assume you would. I think you're a little bit more tolerant, though, than me, Escape, I will say that. Because you were playing all those games a lot longer than I was. You gave it a lot more fairer chance than I ripped in it really fast. You didn't really do it like that. You kind of tried to give it a chance. I think your opinion shifted. Maybe it took longer for your opinion to shift from what I saw. Because you guys were playing Strive for a pretty long time compared to me. I jumped off the ship real fast, and then you kept playing it with all your. And I know it's because it's new, the honeymoon phase. I get it. You were sticking. Oh man, maybe there's something more here. You're like, let me see if we can find it. I'm guessing maybe that's what you were trying to do. I was trying to too. Obviously, I looked through it faster. So obviously, because I have a pretty extensive knowledge of the series, so I dissected it pretty hard, pretty quick. So I already came up with my results. I'm like, there's nothing here. And I'm sure the same with their tournament friends. They were like, it's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I get bored. I don't get tired. I get bored because I feel like everything I'm trying to do, the game's telling me no. Like I want to do something, the game is not letting me do things. The game's always restricting me from doing something. It's like, hey, I want to try this. I want to come up with some type of unique solution or unique play style to make the character my own. Like the whole thing with expression, which that Leon Massey, he talks about that a lot. He mentions it multiple times, which I think is one of the most important things with fighting games. I think expression is, if you want a game to be really good, you need expression. Period. If you do not have it, your game is going to be very shallow and void of identity. You need that. It's like the soul of what makes people want to be great players. To create and mold something in their own image. And you take that away from people, they don't. Why would they even bother? Why would they bother trying to be good at it? When it just all comes down to everybody playing the same. It's just who does it better. It's not fucking inspiring at all. Because I really feel when that happens, I feel like I'm just like everybody else. I feel like I'm just doing the same thing everybody else is doing. I'm a copycat of everybody else, and then I live in the best player's shadow. It's like, cool, I'm a ticket number, basically. I got a fucking badge number on me. I'm Melia player number 3,643. It's like, oh boy. That's how I feel when I play Strive. I feel like this is not my character. I don't feel like I own her, or I'm like, hey, that's H. Galleon's Melia. Like, he plays like no other Melia does. Like, and I'm not even using my main character right now. I say Melia is not my character. But that's how I feel. And it sucks. You feel so devoid of identity. It's like, dude, I want to be me. I want to be the guy that takes this character by the horns and make it run the way I want to run. But the way they develop these games, they don't want you doing that. That's why these games feel so boring and homogenized. There's no expression. It's like I watch tournament plays of these games, I'm like, man, God, everything looks the fucking same. The flow's the same. It's all flowcharty. Yeah, it gets frustrating, man. Well, if you ever talk to a lot of high-level players, expression's a big part of it, dude. It really is. I think it's the soul of fighting games. It really is. Number one, if anything, I would place expression at number one. You cannot devoid a game of that. You will kill the game. I don't know if people agree with me on this statement, but that's how I feel. So I don't know if like I said, how anybody else feels Escape or Blade. Sorry, I've been talking my head off for a while, getting all emotional. Yeah, but also when I talk about this, I get really tired. I just get tired of complaining. I really feel like I'm just wasting my energy. I'm like, why do I even bother? Yeah, expression is important. You need that. When you take away expression, you're devoiding people of identity. You're basically telling them, no, you can only do this. Basically, I think you almost like you shoot people's dreams down to be their own. You're basically just telling everybody just be like everybody else and just be happy about it. And I feel like people think that's like normal just to do that. I'm like, no, I personally don't think that's healthy. I think it's very unhealthy to think that way. Well, it should be versatile. Mechanics should be able to be used any way the player wants to use it. And they can figure out ways to use it beyond what it does. But everything is just made with intent now. Everything has a design, specific purpose. It's tailored like that. Like, use this move, use it as, this way. Use it as an oppression tool, a combo extender, whatever. It's always made that way now. It's the streamlining process. And they see it as, again, I say the analogy, trimming the fat. Get rid of all the fat. Just make it where, hey, it's clear to understand. This does this. This is what it's used for, and it's always that way. And I don't think that's good. Because now, I understand that's developer intent, and you're simplifying the game. You're making the game streamlined, but you're also taking away expression. Because you're basically saying it's a one solution fits all scenario with every tool. Tools need to be used only this way. So when you force people into a funnel to only function in a single way, they're all going to be the same. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. I think defense in a lot of games, sadly, does not get the love and care it deserves. I do think defense is very underutilized. Defense just feels like an afterthought, or just feels very minimalistic. It's all about offense. Oh yeah, I agree, but yeah, the problem is they make these new mechanics, too strong, where they overshadow all the other mechanics. So there's no reason to use any other tools because, again, it goes back to the analogy of rock, paper, scissors. I told you this multiple times. Again, you introduce a new element like rock, paper, scissors, gun, and if gun beats everything, why would you pick anything else but gun? You know the only thing that's going to oppose you is another gun, so you might as well pick gun. You'll at least tie. You'll never lose, but you'll always tie. You either tie or win with gun. You will never lose. So why pick anything else? Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Like I said, I don't know what game to look forward to right now. Just like aside Chaos Code and the new Kohima Enbu, which neither one of them have release dates. So I'm just twiddling my thumbs right now. Like, well, this is why I'm playing non-fighting games. And I've been, like I said, I've been in a fighting game mood for a while, and I'm just like, God, dude, I'm so hungry for a fighting game. I'm aching for it, man. I'm starving. Like, I want it so bad. I just want to sit down and, dive into a fighting game and just like learn the crap out of it and express myself. Come up with solutions and ideas and put them into practice. How I yearn for that. Yeah, exactly. It completely breaks the system. It does not enhance the game at all. You've literally just ruined the game. You've taken all the strategy out. The fun factor is no longer there because you put a variable that where you made the guessing work. Now it's always one solution. So now it's like, okay, where's the strategy in that? There is no strategy. But that's how I feel these games are played nowadays. It's just turn your brain off, don't think, just do the thing, blow up, and then win. That's how I feel it comes across. And this generation, like, I don't know, feels like that's how it should be. Like, they're used to that. And I'm like, that instant gratification. And I don't like it. I don't want the game to be playing for me or handing me the win. I want to actually do the work and actually learn and actually put what I learn into practice to create an identity for myself. I want that process. You're denying me that process now. You're basically want me to be a flowchart. When I play a fighting game, it's literally just follow a flowchart. Do this, and do this, you'll win, and that's the end of the story. It's because it's about results. It's not about the execution. It's not about the journey. It's not about, the thought process. No, it's just about results. You're trimming it down so it all becomes like it's just that straightforward, and there's no. It's almost like giving you a cheat sheet. I really feel like that's the best way to describe it. It's like a cheat sheet. It's like, imagine taking a test, and I just give you the answers to all the tests. There you go. Oh man, look at, I'm such a pro at this. Oh yeah, that like anybody can fucking do that. But I feel like that's how we've gotten to. And then people are misinterpreting that as skill. Saying, oh, I'm good at this game because you flowchart? That makes you a pro? Like, you ain't no pro, man. You a fake. Just saying. Like, it's that illusion that these people are great at this game. And they're not. I'm sorry, they're not. They're not. It's like people that use, like, ChatGPT and AI. Look at me, I'm an expert in the subject because I fucking typed it in AI, an AI module. Oh yeah, you're fucking a genius. Oh man, you're the next Albert Einstein. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I can do that. And then people are like proud of it, like they accomplished something. Like, no, you didn't. The thing did the work for you. You didn't do anything. It's like the analogies, the parallels with so many different things, not just fighting games in real life. It's scarily similar. So, yeah, but I'm just tired of it. That's all. I'm so drained and bored, and again, devoid of happiness, like in that sense. No, I know, I get it. No, you're right. Dude, like I said, I've said this before to you. We had this conversation before. I told you everything's flowcharty. I know, we said this multiple times. I am not a pro fighting game player, but I think I know enough to know, as an intermediate player that has an extensive amount of knowledge with fighting games. It's like I'm not stupid. It's not like only a pro player can figure it out. Like, no, it's like I think anybody with common sense can see the problem if they really analyze it. But these people don't see that. They just see results. Well, that's just the way it is. And I don't think that way. I think about the process. Like, how does the process work? Well, this process is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But people don't want complexity in things. They want everything to be simple. It's almost like we have to regress things so much because people either, one, are too lazy to learn, or two, they're not very smart. In general, look at how a lot of people have no independent thought, can't do, any type of critical thinking. Our people in this society are trained that way. You can just see they're devoid of thought. So they appeal to those people. Well, that's the way it is, so that's how it's going to be. So, and the people that want more, that want to think beyond that, we suffer. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no exchange. There's no transaction going on in back and forth. Which fighting games are a dance. It's about reading each other and talking to each other, having a conversation. That is what fighting games are. And basically, you know what the conversations are now? This is what a conversation in a fighting game is now. Blah, 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 blah. And then, oh, well, how do you counteract blah, blah, blah? Well, blah, 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 blah. That's basically what it is. That's the conversation you're having. It's just blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, real thought-provoking. Oh, man, I see your valid point. Oh, man, I totally am thinking when you talk like that. So you got two ungas that talk to each other that way. Just, I mean, whoever talks over the other person first, whoever blah, blah first, is going to win. Oh my god, it's just, it makes my head hurt, dude. It really does. How we've de-evolved so much. Like, Jesus, it's sad. It really is sad. I'm pretty ashamed. You figured things would get more deeper, more complex, more, interesting. People actually using their brains, coming up with creative solutions. But no, that's not the case anymore. None of that shit. That's too much work. That takes effort. I have to try. I have to do something. Ew. That's how I feel this generation is. Oh, I gotta fucking put effort into something? That's stupid. Like, it's part of the process, man. Use your brain. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, that's why I'd say my gun analogy is very spot on. If I said that to somebody in a pro stream, like a pro gaming stream, I bet you a lot of people would agree with me. If I put that analogy out, they would say that makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of stuff I've said is very truthful and very logical. But I feel we've taken the thought process out of games. We really have. No thinking required. Autopilot. Because dopamine hit, instant gratification, boom blam, TikTok video. That's basically what it is now. No, I'm talking about the rock, paper, scissors, gun thing, blades. Haven't you heard me say about that? Describe fighting games like how they are now? With prominent mechanics? I thought I told you about that, the rock, paper, scissors, gun. I never said this to you before? I've said this for fucking years. So basically, rock, paper, scissors, it's a... You're introducing an overpowered mechanic that trivializes all other options. So by introducing gun into rock, paper, scissors, where gun beats everything, why would you pick anything other than gun? Because gun is only going to lose to gun. So you either tie up or you win. You'll never lose. So that's the best bet. It's just a matter of who does gun first. The person who does gun first is generally going to win, and the only other way that gun gets stopped is by the person doing gun back. To take over the momentum, and then they put them on their toes, doing the same shit back to them. But that's basically the analogy. You stripped that game down, rock, paper, scissors, to that analogy. So why even have rock, paper, scissors even as choices? You might as well just have gun. Take away everything else. Just put gun as the choice. Because that's the only choice that makes any sense. Yeah, it gets frustrating, man. I get tired. I get tired of it, man. That's why I have no faith in the system. I have no faith in fighting games because there is nothing, man. So, but you know, that's why I turn to what I think is good, and I think the games that I'm looking forward to. Granted, I wish I had release dates for them because if I did, I'd give me something to look forward to. That's all I got for me, man. I got nothing else, man. Like everything else that I used to love, and that's what sucks. I feel like the stuff that I've loved, how desecrated it's become, and it's just made me a very sour person now as a result. I've gotten bitter. I've, you know, you've taken away multiple loves of mine, two of them to be, in fact, you know, Guilty Gear and Tekken, my most beloved fighting game franchises of all time, and just completely shit on them. And it's just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? Just go, oh, well, it's just the way it is. Like, I just can't do that. It bothers me, dude. It bothers me to no end, dude. I feel like you fucked with something special that I love. And it hurts. Yeah, like exactly. See, that's why I liked instant kills, because instant kills I thought were also a flavor. You know, it was a cool thing. It wasn't like it was always there, easy to do. It's like it's something you earned, and it was like a special win that you pulled off. You either did it in a fancy combo or something, but it's not like that became the whole game. Now, if they made it where instant kill was like, oh, just hit 3 buttons and you just win the game. It's like, okay, why even play the fighting game at that point? Just do insta-kill all the time. That it would be the same as the rock, paper, scissors, gun analogy. You nullify all of the things and would just do instant kills all day. It just become a matter of who does it first. But you don't. But that's bad design. You wouldn't trivialize everything else by doing that. But good design is, hey, we'll make this cool mechanic. It's rare. It's not easy to do. It's situational. But it gives you a really cool finish if you do it. It's like, hey, okay, that's cool, you know? It doesn't become the whole game. But when you can pull it off, it feels special. So I like doing, I used to make combo videos with it, and I'll be like, oh, you can do this. Oh, shit, that works with this. And I thought, oh, man, I'm going to try it in a match. You know, like, oh, I pulled it off, you know, like, that feels cool. Especially if you created a way that you did it yourself, your own way. And then it's like, hey, that's me. I stamped that. I thought of that. I created that. I'm the guy that made that happen. That's how I feel. It's like when I make my combo videos, that's how I feel when I make my combo videos, because I feel like an inspiration to others. When I created all those Zerg combo videos, Rev 2, a lot of people were inspired by me. Like, people gave me mad props, like, oh shit, like, this guy knows how to play. This guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's doing. But they knew that was my flavor. They knew when they saw that happen, they knew that was me. They're like, that's my name written, stamped all over it. Like, that is me. That will always be me. No one does it like me. And you know what? I'm proud of that. Because I did that with my own brain. I did that by just learning something, applying it, and putting it into practice. And saying, hey, I created this. And I'm proud of it. But yeah, you've taken that process away from me now with newer games. So why do I even bother putting the energy into it? There's no reason to. But yeah, like I said, I just get tired. It's draining, man. I get drained, dude. It is like I get exhausted, man. I hope things change though, man. Something needs to give, dude. There's just it's so fucking broken right now. The system is just broken now. God, I wish things would just change for the better. But we'll see. We'll see when well, like for me, like I said, not Undernight, fucking Chaos Code next, and I'm sorry, Kohima Enbu Rio Rai Rai Plus or whatever it's called, come out, and I can, give me the kick in my pants that I've been, the light the fire under my ass that I've been craving for so long. See me get back in the saddle, or like, I'm back, baby. I am back. Like, I think a lot of people are gonna be like, holy shit, he's returned to the seat. Like, holy shit, he's online. He's playing people. He's being competitive. Like, I do think it's gonna be crazy when that happens. I think my channel is gonna. I wouldn't be surprised my channel blows up, because they're gonna be like, holy shit, he's playing fighting games. All the people that used to watch me all the time, getting thousands of views, they'll all come back like, what just happened? Good times. Good times. Good times. Be like, I have returned. There is a God. Oh, that was a lot. Oh man. Is there anything else you want to add to the table? Anybody else have anything they want to add to the table? Yep, that's pretty much it. Do this, you win. Best gameplay, I guess. Well, yeah, it's just a matter of, okay, cool, you did it the first time, okay, now do it forever. Basically, you already know the solution. The solution is no longer a secret. Not like it was ever a secret anyway, because they just tell you that. You know, but that's how it feels. It literally just feels like, there's the answer, now keep repeating it. It becomes a matter of who does it better. Who's the first person that can land it? That's what the whole game becomes. Like, when you put it into perspective like that, when you explain it that way, doesn't it sound fucking boring? It's like a fixed solution. It's always the same. It's like the mystery is no longer the mystery anymore. The cat's out of the bag. It's like, okay, cool. Can you do anything else on that? Not really. And if you do anything else, well, you're gonna lose. It doesn't reward you for doing anything different. You are not given anything for it. Since winning is the point, just do this and you'll win. Isn't that what you care about? Is just winning, right? So to give yourself the best odds of winning, just do that. Yeah, but there's not. There is no infinite choices. It's one. It's called a choice. You get one. Just one. That's all you get, man. You get one choice. That is literally what your game amounts to, is one fucking choice. Yeah, play like everybody else, man, because that's all that matters. There, you won the game. Congratulations. You are the blursts. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. Yeah, I mean, when you just put it into perspective like that, doesn't it sound sad? That's how far we've come. Yeah, I mean, I know you're trying to be the positive reinforcement. I mean, I understand you're not trying to give up. You're the beacon of hope. You know, like, hey, I want to take people out of the darkness. I get it, you know, but I do feel like the only way we're gonna really truly resolve it is to let it burn to the ground. Like, I know it sounds terrible when you say it like that. Like, when I say it like that, I sound like I'm just like a villain right now. Like, why would you want to see Namco go bankrupt and go fall under and Tekken be gone from this earth? I was like, so we can start anew. Because it's not going to change if we just keep staying course. These people are not going to listen because they keep getting rewarded for their stupid decisions. So, and then the other problem is the people that keep playing this fucking shit and keep consuming it and don't question it, they're the problem too. It's the consumer's fault just as much as it is the upper management and, you know, corporate level. So both, I think, parties are at fault. So I wish people would just have a fucking brain and just be like, hey, I want what's better for the game. Leave. Stop playing. Give it up. Like, let it fail. If you stand united in that front, then things will change. But they don't do that. Oh, it's not that bad. You know, this fucking toxic positivity shit. The shilling. Because you can tell people are just shilling the game. Oh man, this is the greatest game ever. Oh, you guys are overreacting. And oh, you're just bad at the game. Like, oh god, like, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, and that's why I want to see an Namco go under. I want them to fail. I want Arc System Works to fail. I want them to, and it's like, and from that failure, they learn to be better. You know, we need competition. We need these companies striving for it to be, give us the best product they can deliver through just good, honest, hard work. And just being like, hey. And then building a good product that's memorable for the future. Instead of this quick cash grab shit. Make something that's going to last becomes a legacy. Not just something that's just, oh, here's the quick buck now. And just and just run it into the ground. Milk the cow dry. Basically. Because that's what they're doing now. They're just milking the cow dry. Well, I don't know, because the new gen doesn't seem like it's... I don't know. I feel like the new gen is too complacent with shit. They feel like different. Like, now in the economy, it's different. You know, like what's going on in the world. Like, people can't afford to pay rent. People are getting tired of that. As far as fighting games, I don't really hear the new gen think it's the best shit ever. Because the way the people play it now, you look at all these shield streamers and shit. Obviously, I think a lot of them are fake. They're faking it. They're just doing it for the money. That's why they just, oh, it's the greatest game. I'm sure you've seen those promotional advertisements for a new game where they swear it's the greatest game ever made. And it's a fucking crap game. But, because they're shilling. They got paid from the corporation. They talk good about the game, say it's the greatest game ever. And then everybody gets influenced by that shit because they don't think for themselves. So they all think it's the best shit ever. They all feed at that trough, from the garbage trough. So nothing gets better because we keep lowering our standards down. So things get worse. It doesn't get better. It just keeps getting worse. And then these corporations say, "Oh, these people eat this shit up. Well, let's try this now. Let's see if they'll eat this shit up." And they keep coming back for more. Like, look at EA Games with all their sports games. They get the worst reviews, and yet they make record-breaking sales. Does that make any fucking sense? Oh, look, here's the new Madden game. Fucking mostly negative. How many copies did it sell? 20 million copies. Well, the math ain't mathing there. If the game is so bad, why do so many people buy it still? And then they complain about it, saying, like, hey, this game is shit, and then they're back at it, playing it, and giving the game money. Man, this game sure is garbage. Fucking puts $50 worth of fucking credits on the game to buy useless shit. Game's fucking shit. Puts another $50 in. Game's fucking shit. It's like, are you a moron? Oh, God, it's so frustrating when I see that shit in action. People complain about, oh, there's no other good games out there, and they just keep playing the same shitty game and complain about it. I got a Street Fighter group that does that. They fucking play Street Fighter 6 to no fucking end. Complain about it all the fucking time. Non-stop, incessant talk. And they just keep coming back for more. And they keep complaining. And I'm like, if you're not happy playing it, you say it's the worst game you ever played. I'm so sick and tired of it. You sure like you're doing the complete opposite, because that doesn't make any fucking sense. If you don't like it, don't play it. That's, again, no different than going to a restaurant like, man, this food is fucking shitty. I'm going to come back tomorrow. And they keep doing it. And I'm like, are you insane? Stop playing it. Go do something else. Are you dumb? I understand maybe don't you don't like something, like you want something to be fixed, like you genuinely like the game. You're like, hey, I don't like this mechanic. I hope they fix it, but I still like the game. That's fine. You can criticize your game, but when you're literally talking about your game as shit and that you're not having fun playing it, and you keep double down playing it, and all you do is complain the whole fucking time, incessantly. That'd be like me playing Strive, and I'm still playing it to this day, talking my same narrative. It's the worst game ever. Then why do you keep playing it? I expect everybody to question me at that point. Like, why do you keep playing it? Like, I had one guy tell me, why do you put stuff about Strive in the game when you talk shit about Strive? That makes no fucking sense. And he's right. Because I uploaded all the soundtrack to my channel, and I don't like the game. It's like, you know what? He makes a good point. You know what? I'm gonna remove my fucking songs from the channel. I don't want to support the game. I did it. I said, you know what? You're absolutely fucking right. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why would I put stuff on a game that I hate? Like, obviously I'm coming back to it now because of Jam, and I'm trying to give it a chance again, which after 5 seasons, I don't think much is going to change, unfortunately. I'm still going in with a pessimistic attitude, but I'm trying to give it a chance, because I want to see if Jam's going to hit home for me. I don't think she's going to, but you never know. I could be wrong. And the thing is, I want to be wrong. I would love to someone like sock me in my face, gut punch me, and be like, oh shit, this is not bad. I actually like this. Like, I would love to see that. Please, like, I would beg for that. Like, I want to be wrong. Please let me be wrong for once in my life. Yeah, well, I think Street Fighter X, well, not Street Fighter X, Tekken X Street Fighter, and Tekken 7, which obviously proved that those two games can meld together, and I thought it was a beautiful meld. I was like, damn, dude, I wanted Tekken X Street Fighter. I'm not joking. That's the only Street Fighter game in the world to this day that I would have loved to see become a reality, because I think that shit would have been pretty awesome. And that's coming from me, the guy who doesn't like Street Fighter. But Tekken X Street Fighter, if in the hands of the Namco team, oh man, that would have been heaven to me. I think it would have been pure bliss. I would be like, I would have been playing that game. I'm like, okay, this is pretty fucking cool. Like, holy shit, this is different, and it works because it's proven it worked with other characters like Akuma, Eliza, and Geese Howard. It works. I don't think it worked with Street Fighter X Tekken, but Tekken X Street Fighter I think would have worked, and unfortunately we're never going to see it. That's the sad part. We're never going to see it. Because Harada's gone now. Harada jumped ship, and I don't blame him for jumping ship. I honestly think Harada jumped ship because he saw the writing on the wall, and he was like, I'm done with this fucking shit. I don't like this corporate bullshit. Yeah, again, it's over, dude. It ain't gonna happen. Tekken X Street Fighter's dead. That's the only fighting game I would have liked to see Street Fighter cross paths with. That's the only game you would have saw me play. That was the only time in the history of recently that you would actually see me play a Street Fighter type game. That's the only one. Because I do love Tekken. Tekken's good stuff, man. Just not now. No, Tekken 8, no thanks. Yeah, that's not the same though. Tekken 8, yeah. Tekken 8 is not. Don't even call it that, man. No, it's not. That is not the same thing, man. That is not the same. I would not put that in the same, dude. Nah. Tekken 7 was more like what it should have been, not Tekken 8. Tekken 7 worked a lot better. Because it still had the core Tekken gameplay. And I hear you, man. So, but, it's done, dude. It's done. I'll wait for, like I said, I'm already done with Tekken 8. I think it's at a point of no return. There's nothing going to save that game. Even Nee, if you saw his recent interview or recent video on his one of his streams, he said that he thinks Tekken 8 is beyond fixing. It cannot be fixed. They're too knee deep into how they want it to play, and they're just going to continue to stay course. So he knows that it'll never change. So either accept it for what it is or don't play it, which a lot of people are choosing not to play it, which I think they should. Because the community is just irate right now. Like, I don't know if you've seen the review bombing of Tekken 8 right now. How bad it is now. I think it's like under 18% or some shit. It's bad. I don't blame people. Like I said, I mean, I fucking put this game as trash. Just to prove a point. Like, look at this shit. 23%. This is just sad to see, dude. Just sad, man. Like, how pathetic. Yeah, the problem is, they literally keep doubling down on the main mechanic. They do not want to remove it. So they're like, nope, it's going to keep being the same, and we're going to keep building on it. And just keep fucking the game up even more. Like, you've already fucked it up. And they're just fucking it up more. It's like, go ahead, hell, let's full speed ahead into the fucking iceberg. It's literally the Titanic, you know? We're literally just running full course into an iceberg and going to sink gloriously. That's what they're doing. It's like, yep, setting up for failure. It's already too late. We're on course, man, and we're not changing course. I'm like, oh, then goodbye. See you later. Hope I never see you again. Don't ever come back. Don't ever come back into my life. If you can't change, it's like an abusive girlfriend, man. You let her go and just say, see you later. Have a nice life. I hope, I never want to see you again. If you can change, which obviously the likelihood of that is probably next to zilch, then maybe we can talk. But outside of that, nope. They have to do some crazy shit to earn my trust back now, because they've broken my trust right now. I think they've shit on the community so much. They've given them the middle finger 3 fucking times and don't listen. So, okay, well, I'm done. I wish people just walk out in droves. Walk out in droves. Just abandon the game. And just show that you don't care. That's the best thing people can do. But the problem is, there's still thousands of people playing this shit. Tekken 8 is still... Let's see, Steam charts. What's it going right now? I mean, this is the lowest it's ever been. I think 4,000 is the lowest it's ever been. This is the lowest for Steam. This is the absolute lowest. I don't think it's ever been lower than that. Yeah, this is a record low, and it's only going down more. So I would love to see it just go down to hundreds. Be like, see you later. Farewell and goodbye. Yeah, I really don't think there's a way to fix it. That's it. And they don't care enough to fix it. But I think we probably will not get another Tekken game after this. Tekken is dead. I really think that Tekken 9 is not going to be in the cards. I think Namco is going to just abandon it. Like they abandoned Soul Calibur. It's going to be the same thing. We're just never going to see another fighting game from Namco ever again. Oh, well, not like they was making any money anyway. Oh, well. I was like, okay, whatever, man. Yeah, but it's just one of those things. It's just like the damage is done. That's the problem. The damage is done. And the reputation Namco has painted themselves is irreparable at this point. Because it's like the old saying: slap me once, shame on me. Slap me twice, shame on you. This is already the third slap, and people are still falling for it. It's like, dude, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm sorry, 3 strikes, you are out. I'm done. I'm done getting slapped in the face. You know, I've three times is ridiculous, man. With the same fucking shitty response. We're sorry. We'll fix it. We'll listen to your feedback. Yeah, well, because we saw how that worked the first 2 times. There's just nothing they can do to repair it. And I don't think they care. I literally just think Murray and them don't give a flying fuck. Anything, they'll probably be happy the game goes under, be like, cool, we don't have to work on this game anymore. Alright, dude, I got other games to play, I just don't have other fighting games to play. I'm enjoying this game. This is my new daily driver. I put so much time into this game, and I love this game. And I'm happy I found a second gacha game that I really enjoy. So it's not me having a problem finding games. I got games to play. I just don't have fighting games to play. It's that one genre where it's devoid for me, because I have nothing. Fighting games, unfortunately, are just not on the table. No, I've played Demon Bride. I've sat down and played it. I used to play it a lot. I had an emulator of it. I played it a long time ago. So I know what it is. Like, I played it with my friend. I played a lot of those games that were only on emulator. Like, now they're finally getting official releases. I played those a long time ago. I say Demon Bride's more goofy, like, nah, no, it's, no. I don't think you're right in that regard. I don't think FK Digital made that game. It's an Arc System Works. I mean, I'm sorry, not Arc System Works. It's a team. From my understanding, it's a Team Arcana game. you know, I think it plays more like like it's not it's more in the same vein as it's like Arcana Heart 3 without the silly flying mechanics. Because I noticed it does have some flight in that game, where you like kind of jump really high in the screen. So I would say there's some inspiration from that. Yeah, dude. Like I said, I'm not. Believe me, though, dude. I don't think that I'm like so angry that I won't play anything. I'm not that bad, dude. I just don't play fighting games anymore. That's all. Oh, yeah, I kind of Heart 3. Nothing wrong with that game. Not really my type. The flight mechanic doesn't feel right to me. It feels weird. Like I've played it, and I'm like not feeling it too much. Like, but I will say it's probably one of the most unique games I've ever seen in terms of anime fighters. It's extremely unique. Wasn't for me though. But respect it. I played two of the entries. I didn't care for it. But that's just me though, dude. Like I said, I'm not mad though. Don't feel like I've gotten so angry that I don't play anything. You know, it's like nah, dude. It's just I'm angry. Of course, I'm angry because I care. That's why I'm angry. You know, it gets frustrating because if I didn't honestly care, I wouldn't get angry. That's the thing. I really think that's why I'm so angry because I care. But I'm not gonna let it destroy me. Where I'm like, it's gonna be my whole life just being angry all the time. Like, what do you do all the time? I just be angry. I'm just yelling at everybody. And are you doing anything else? No, just being angry. Like, I'm not doing that. Believe me, I try to shift my energy to stuff I care about. That's why I play these games, because I care about them. These games are enjoyable to me. That's why I focus on them. I don't want to focus on being angry. I'll talk about it. I'll have a heated discussion about it, but I'm not going to make it my life. It's okay. I don't mind her look. Like, it's alright. It reminds me of River City Girls, because that's where the inspiration's from. Because I remember seeing Jam in River City Girls too. She's a guest character. And the same voice actress that does Jam's voice in River City Girls 2 is the same voice actress that does the in Strive. It's the same chick, which is pretty cool. They actually brought her back. Because that's the first time Jam's ever had an English voice. But yeah, her River City Girls 2 costume, I think that's what heavily inspired her current look. And the only thing I don't like about her current look, I don't like the shoes. I'm not a fan of the shoes, unfortunately. I think the shoes look kind of, it looks weird to me. Like, her costume doesn't look right with dress shoes. That's just me, And I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that? Come in.
Client, which is cool, but because there's high risk of getting caught. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, one dude one guy caught me, and I got into a fight with him. This dude, he was a sword master, but he was drunk as fuck. So he was vomiting and doing this with his sword. He made it difficult, and I was like, it took me like 4 times to beat him. I was like, dude, this guy is drunk as fuck, but his sword skill was top notch. I mean, very skilled, but dude, he was drunk.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he was drunk. So this is an open world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an open world
Yeah,
game.
yeah, just like Witcher and that card game. It's yeah, the card game. They ended up making an independent card game out of that.
Yep.
Out of that mini game,
And that
which
was really popular.
Really popular. I was like, whoa, this is popular.
Yeah, it was a pretty big thing for a while.
Yeah, and people are still playing it.
Yeah, that's good. As a legacy, dude.
Yeah,
The game's not going anywhere.
that's like shit.
Yeah, it's all good.
Sleep thing.
Alright, man. Sleep well, dude. Night. Yeah, it's basically a variation of Tetris. Yeah, this game has a lot of guess like different games in it. Like it has a rhythm game. That was really good. They collabed with Muse Dash. I love Muse Dash. It's such a fun game. I don't know if you're still there. Escape, sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. I'm honestly surprised you're up this late where you can't sleep. Escape. Of course I played. Of course I played pinball. I used to play when I was a kid. I have pinball effects on my computer. Yeah, I used to play pinball all the time when I was young. I haven't played it recently. Yeah, like I said, I'm just surprised you're up this late. Figure you would have been asleep already. Oh, you can't sleep? Notice you've been, like, doing these weird late night stream. Who's my waifu? Who's my waifu? It's these three girls. That's my main girl right there. Camellia.
楽しみにしてたよ。私とあなたのゲームも。
Yeah, I use her and Cartethia. That's probably my number. Let's say there's 1 and 2. And probably I would say Jinxie's 3rd.
最終のレベルをあなたに会いに来ました。
Yeah, I like a lot of characters in this game, though. I like Yuno. I like Emmaus. Emmaus is really cool. Pretty too. I like Lene, Chisa. He's cool. Yeah, I like the character designs. I like their movesets, and I like their physical appearance, their voices, their stories too. Yeah, there's a lot of good designs in this game. Really good characters design. That's why I've literally collected almost every single character in this game. Yeah, there's a lot of good characters in this game. Oh, definitely. You gotta make them sexy. What, in Gacha? Not of all time. Probably not. Like, Camellia was #1 for a while. When I first saw her, I fell in love with her. She was probably my #1 Gacha waifu. But I also like the Gacha girl. I like the girls in Arknight too. The girls, I like the ones you saw me playing earlier in the other game. The girl with the pink hair, I like her a lot. Yvonne. Nostalgic waifu. Oh, you're talking about like in general, not just from gachas. There are a lot of characters. I think that's it. I think that's everything, right? Yeah, 12,000. Okay, cap for the week. Cap for the week. Did dailies. I think I'm done with everything. No, I'm missing 3. I'm missing 3 characters, I believe. Yeah, I'm missing I don't know where the list is. I don't think there's a list. I can see everybody. Yeah, I'm missing... I think I'm missing 3 characters. They're all males. I'm missing the doctor guy, Luke. I'm missing the samurai dude. And I'm missing one other, I think. I'm missing 3. Everybody else, though. I have all the girls. Like, every girl that comes on banner, I always pull them. I know there's another girl coming out in 2 weeks, I think. I'm saving up for her. Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm trying to save, yeah. I don't have him. The blind samurai. Yeah. I just mostly play these games, dude. I haven't really played anything else. Like, I've been playing Fatal Frame, the remake. I've been kind of busy though, so I haven't really been playing it very much. I've had to stream late because it's been so warm. But yeah, I've been playing this, so Crimson Butterfly remake. Oh, there's an update. There's an update. I still need to finish this. I'm gonna try to play it tomorrow on Saturday. I mean, I might try to play it Friday. I don't have to go anywhere today, but I got some stuff I gotta do. Oh man, what you about to do? Escape? You're just gonna? It's good. I like it. It's much better than the original. It's a good game. I like it much better than the original. Definitely a big improvement in a lot of ways. Some stuff I think needs to be addressed, but I think the direction they took it, like there's definitely a lot of good changes. There's some changes I wish they elaborated more on because I feel like some of the changes felt a little half-baked. Like, you had good ideas, but you didn't fully commit to the ideas. Like, I think they missed an opportunity with the multiplayer aspect, because you have, you play both sisters, but you only use one, which I think is kind of lame. I wish they let you play as both sisters, and I really wish there was more coordinated stuff with both sisters, because they have the hand-holding mechanic where you hold your sister's hand to gain life. But I feel like that could have been more expanded upon, because there should be like puzzles and stuff they work together. I think that was a missed opportunity, because it feels very like they didn't really go that far with it. It just feels kind of just thrown together. I think they could have really went with that a lot more, made some interesting gameplay choices, would have been more engaging. But I do feel like, yeah, it's because the only game where you play as 2 characters at the same time. So I do feel that was a missed opportunity. Well, I mean, of course it's scary. I mean, it's Fatal Frame. It's gonna be scary. And it's fairly good looking. I wouldn't say it's like 10 out of 10 graphics, but it's pretty solid. There's a lot of the changes they made are good. The only thing I don't like is not all the endings, unfortunately, are in the game. They took out the extended endings from the Wii version, the Wii remake version. That content is not in this game, which I thought was kind of shitty. But it does have an exclusive ending that's only in this version. But oh, let's see. Oh, that's cool. You can dress up as Hinako. Hinako. I like that. That's cool. And they get the mask. That's actually pretty cool. I want that. I want to dress up as Hinako. Yeah, the two bonus endings. Like I said, there's 2 extra endings that are in the Wii version. That's cool. It was free too. That was pretty cool. That didn't tell you to run. That's cool. I have to change that outfit. You're gonna go to sleep? No problem, dude. No problem, dude. Yeah, I'm about to go knock out too. It's already 4:30 in the morning. I got stuff to do tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta do some paperwork and help my roommate with something. I'm probably gonna work on a computer tonight. Try to get that put together. So I'll be busy for like 6 hours. So, well, no, it's not. It's not work. It's just stuff I gotta take care of. That's all. I'm gonna go get something to drink, then go to bed at 5 and probably get up at noon and take care of that. So, I'm gonna stay home today. I'm not going anywhere. I gotta go places Saturday and Sunday though. So, all right, dude. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go to sleep. Thanks. Hope everybody has a good night.